Where the fuck is Google Chrome? Just pulling up chat. Hello, everyone who might be in the stream so far. Gonna give some people time, and then I'm gonna have to put this on Twitter and everything. I'm also trying to figure out getting the window capture to work because it's not for some reason right now. That's not the one I want. There we go. Existential Baguette. Welcome to the chat. Let me just tweet this out, and then we can start. Welcome to the chat, Drakewing, Daughter of Tiamat, Hungry Killer 666, Opossum Fiend, Grey Dutch Milkmaid, Highly and Derp. Welcome. I actually did my makeup for the stream today, so hopefully it turned out all right. Hello, everyone who's getting in here. Sharktooth0222, OCP, Opossum Fiend, Hungry Killer 666, Grindle the Heck Doggo, Reese the Alpace? No, I'm reading that wrong. Reese the Alpaca. There we go. My bad. Interesting, the chat isn't updating on my phone for some reason, and I use my phone for the dashboard. I wonder why. Huh. Did Jake and I ever get around to Shay King? Oh, checking out your book, Oregonia and the Legend of Mice. No, I still have it in my house somewhere, but I haven't gotten to it yet. Thank you for following Tucker White 24. All right, let me put this in. Oh, wait. So for those of you who don't know, last night you may have seen some of my tweets about this, or you may have seen other people talking about it because it's kind of become a meme lately. There's this guy on Twitter who has his own website. There we go, now the chat's updating. Great. Secret clones. Oh god, I'm gonna have to look at that one. Hold on. Where's the secret clones link? There it is. It's okay. Oh god, of course he has an awful camera too. Thanks for saying it's a lovely top. It's a dress, but you can only see the top half of me, so thank you. As I said earlier also, I did my makeup actually today, which is good. Hopefully that'll be something I continue to not be lazy about in the future so I can look nice for the streams. Or as nice as I can manage. Discord. Oh yeah, I just gotta put this in the Discord and then we could actually start in earnest. Sorry.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism. That's right, capitalistic propaganda.
Thanks for following Merely a Cat. Tucker White 24 to 100 bits. That's the comment. Thank you for their bits. Much appreciated. Stream. Doom, 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 doom. Okie dokie. Now we can get to the stream. Hello, Crimson11. Welcome to the stream. So, as I was saying, last night I tweeted about a individual by the name of One Angry Gamer. Now, this person has been going the rounds on Twitter and looking for anyone who uses the hashtag like Black Lives Matter. By the way, Black Lives Matter. And putting them on what he calls the list. It's a comprehensive list of everyone he considers to be a, quote, traitor to America. And this includes companies and celebrities, both real life and internet. So it's, thank you for following Flavier and Arrow Badger. So I wanted to take a look at this list. It's probably updated since last night, actually, because I only watched it, I only looked at it last night, but he's been updating it regularly. So I gotta see, is it still up somewhere? Where is the list? Unless he got rid of the list, that would be hilarious if he gave up and deleted it. Where is the list? Come on, I tweeted about it. I guess I can go to my own Twitter and look at the...
That's right, capitalistic propaganda.
Thank you to... Tedwin for following. Let's see, I tweeted about it. One Angry Gamer. There's the stupid shit the quartering said. More stupid shit the quartering said. Here we go. Traitors of America. He, of course, has protection on this because, of course, since he's become such a lol cow, he's been getting doxxed, the stupid website. Stupid shit the quartering said. Gonna have to be more specific. He pulled out the old and ancient gem of hashtag all lives matter, which, of course, has been explained to him multiple times. Hey, when people say Black Lives Matter, they're not saying other lives don't matter. The problem is that black lives are seen as having inherently less value in this country, and they're allowed to be killed by the police without repercussions. So, yeah, he's just being a dumb shit. Did he seriously use a koala image? I think everyone watching is now an honorary traitor. I wish I'd get added to the list, frankly. Am I on the list? I don't think I am. I'd like to be. I've tried to engage him several times. Can I turn up the mic? Let me see if I can turn it up. Yeah, I can turn it up a little bit. How's that? A little bit louder? That's about as loud as I can make myself, though, I think. Oh, I have a gain on this. I guess I could turn that up. How's that? Gain up. There we go. Should be louder now. So let's take a look at this list and see exactly who are America's traitors. We have 100 thieves. I'm going to try and reveal this as slowly as possible, because I find it funnier. 100 Thieves, an esports organization. I'm not particularly familiar with them. Most of these, when he actually took the time to put links, and say, like, this is why they're a traitor. And it's usually stuff like this. The recent murder of George Floyd is a continuation of the ongoing racial injustice we see in our country. 100 Thieves stands for diversity and inclusivity and is against racism in any form. We have the responsibility to ourselves and humanity to stand up for the change we want to see. The time for justice for George Flynn, Ahmaud Arbery. Arbery? I actually don't know how to pronounce his last name. Arbery. Brennan Taylor and the Voiceless is now. We ask all of our fans and the gaming community to stand with us and fight. You get it. It's like a little message to be like, hey, Black Lives Matter. We stand with the protesters. And because of this, they have been labeled a traitor, and most of them are like this. 20th Century Studios, which used to be 20th Century Fox. We stand against racism, we stand for inclusion, we stand with our fellow black employees, storytellers, creators, and the entire black community. We must unite and speak out. So it's stuff like this. Like, it's typical corporate, like, we stand behind the social movement that is happening, and, like, this is bullshit. And because of this, they have been labeled by an angry gamer as traitors. Katrina Hood. Oh, how cute. He's assuming that many corporations are American traitors because their Twitter accounts tweeted something as opposed to putting their money where their mouth is. Yeah. There are some on this list who have also donated to various stuff like the bail funds or just to Black Lives Matter in general, and they're like labeled as like triple double traitors. It's very ridiculous. Crimson 11, Ben & Jerry's is a super mega trader, and I love it. They make good shit. Yes. Thank you, Fulvier, for subscribing. Much appreciated. So let's see who else we got. We got 2K Games. I believe they do like the 2K sports games. I think they also publish the Grand Theft Auto games. Thank you, Santiago Dunbar, for following. Beyond that, we have ABC Network, owned by Disney. We have the Academy Awards, who are traitors, obviously, as he points out. Let's see what they're traitors for. Again, they just say another, like, message, like, hey, murdering unarmed black people who are suspected of crimes is not okay. Apparently, it makes you a traitor. Rockstar's GTA. Rockstar's the developer, but they don't publish their own games. I think it's not 2K, it's Take-Two, I think, that publishes the Rockstar games. Yeah, Take-Two. Thank you, Hypermole. So then we also have Activision Blizzard, the creators of World of Warcraft and other games, I'd imagine. I'm not super familiar with them. Adult Swim, the network that creates stuff like Rick and Morty. Airbnb, Amazon, who is a double trader. Let's see why Amazon's a double trader. Ooh. Amazon donates $10 million to organizations supporting justice and equality. Oh no, we can't have justice and equality in America. Those traitors. And then, of course, they did a little message on their Prime Video Twitter as well. Let's see what else we got. American Airlines, American Express, Amplitude Studios. The thing I don't understand is specifically what is he intending to do with this list? I can think of two reasons. A, it's a boycott list. He wants them to not support them. Let me see what this even says. I didn't read the preamble. A number of individuals, companies, outlets, and media institutions have stepped forward to announce that they support the groups enabling riots, violence, vandalism, theft, assault, and murder taking place at the hands of vandals and thugs across the United States. Sounds like he's talking about the cops, but he's not. Anyone looking to find out which companies, brands, and content creators have betrayed the trust of the American people by aligning with a group that supports the deconstruction of Western values. Western values is a dog whistle, if you ever hear it, by the way. This list will enlighten you as to who the traitors are so you can stay informed. Note, some of the people, brands, companies on this list are not headquartered in America. However, they still cater to and influence the American consumer audience. Yuck. And in light of their influence to help sway the views of the American citizens, they have been added to the list. Oh boy. So if this is a boycott list, it's gotten to the point where basically if this guy, name of one angry gamer, wants to survive within society, he basically has to go live out in the woods and hunt for food by himself. It's pretty fantastic. Dude Spanking Dude says, Hannah, this is from yesterday, but I disagree with you. The manga guy, disagree with you with the manga guy and the trans woman. If someone was trying to grab, destroy, or steal my shit, they be getting decked. Though I'd probs let the police do it since I'm weak. I don't remember what you're talking about. Oh, the manga guy. I thought it said manga. I disagree with you with the manga guy. I said in that video I didn't think she should be stealing, but he shouldn't. You don't have the right to assault people either for that shit. That's not cool. Especially someone smaller than you, whether they're a man or a woman. I don't care. I don't think attacking people's a good move anyway. Not unless you're being attacked, at least. Katrina Hood, I checked ahead and BioWare is on this list, and the blurb is added to it. A company with a tired face. Haha, never heard that one before. Also, a Mass Effect Andromeda isn't a bad game. Changed my mind. I own Mass Effect Andromeda. It's okay. It's not as good as Mass Effect 2. Mass Effect 2 is still the best one, in my opinion. I don't think that's a very controversial opinion, but... Oh, shit. I am spilling soda everywhere. Lovely. So we have American Express, Amplitude Studios, I don't know what they are. AOL, in case you were worried about using any product from AOL... No more AOL Instant Messenger for you, because AOL.com, which apparently still exists, has a Twitter account, and they posted something about this. Oh, does Verizon own AOL now? That was a bad acquisition. Why would you want AOL? If this is your first encounter with Billy, aka One Angry Gamer, let me poison the well for you. He's mostly known for screeching about the gay in Well Anything. Yeah, after we look at the list, I wanted to look at some of his articles on different games and stuff. I know he did one last night about a new comic book, a Wonder Woman comic book, where apparently Steve Trevor is gay. And he's real bad about it. So I wanted to talk about that. Not that I've read the comic, so I can't review it. But he's, like, mainly upset that Steve Trevor is gay in it. As if comic book continuities don't change all the time. Who cares? Your aunt still uses AOL mail? Yikers. I bet even, like, Nigerian scammers don't bother with AOL email addresses anymore. The Apollo Theater, what a shock. A traditionally African-American theater is against police violence against black people. What a shock. AT&T is a traitor, and AOL, that's owned by Verizon, so you can't get AT&T or Verizon, so that's not good, or any of the subsidiaries that, like, a lot of smaller cell phone companies leech off their networks and pay to them for that. Atari, imposters. The imposters is specifically because Atari, the brand, has been passed around throughout the years. Obviously, the original Atari company doesn't really exist anymore currently. There's sort of a Kickstarter scam company making $400 Atari machines to play games from the 70s on. But either way, apparently they're traitors too. I mean, they literally reset the universe constantly. Why the heck would someone being gay make him mad? Well, once we look at the article, you'll see why. It's clear he's just super homophobic. Because he doesn't talk about, like, this is wrong for the character. He basically just says, like, gay people have STDs. This is morally wrong. It's so fucking stupid. Bank of America. Barnes & Noble, which probably won't be too much of a problem for him. I can't imagine this guy reads too many books. Axe body spray. Bad news if you're a middle schooler. No more Axe body spray. Is that even a thing middle schoolers still do? Like middle school boys, instead of showering, they just pour a gallon of Axe body spray on themselves? Bandai Namco Entertainment, so no more Pac-Man. Ben and Jerry's. Ben and Jerry's is apparently going real hard for Black Lives Matter, and I respect that. They have delicious ice cream. Boost Mobile. I'm thinking by the end of this list, he just can't own a cell phone anymore if he doesn't want to support these quote-unquote traitorous companies. Imagine giving a shit about anything Bethesda says. Yeah, no kidding. My day is going well, Gregory Term. Thanks for sending me well wishes. Everyone who is not explicitly straight in comics is pan now. I have decreed it. I accept this as headcanon. Crimson 11 says, I would love to watch a TV show where this guy tries to survive for a month while avoiding giving money to anybody on this list. He wouldn't last a week. Yep. Shady Shroomy Fallout, the only unpolitical game series. Let's see what Bethesda said. Oh, it's just one of the blackout images. Okay. Imagine getting triggered at an image of a black square. Imagine it. How fucking annoying would it be to be that sensitive? Let's see. Budweiser, so no more disgusting beer. Burger King. Call of Duty. I don't disagree that the Call of Duty games are a little bit of war propaganda. That's for sure. Campbell's Soup. You can't enjoy a nice bowl of soup unless you want to make it yourself, I guess. Capitol Records. Cartoon Network, which sucks because Adventure Time, there's a new season coming out on HBO Max, and that's going to be real good. Bad Motivation says Bethesda is an interesting choice for the list because their parent company, ZeniMax Media, has Trump's brother on their board of directors. Ew. That makes a ton of sense. Thanks for the 100 bits, Bad Motivations. Fucking gross. I've heard real bad things about ZeniMax in particular before. Chucklefish, who makes Stardew Valley. Coca-Cola. So no more Coca-Cola or any Coke products, which is like 50% of the soda market. Comedy Central. Crunchyroll. So no anime for him. Cyberpunk 77. That's a shame because that game looks dope as fuck. Are you under the impression that Cyberpunk 2077, a game specifically about cyberpunk, the idea of a totalitarian future run by mega corporations, you think they're gonna like lick cop boot? That sounds a little strange. Doritos. Yeah, Doritos. Are Doritos on here? Disney. So like 70% of all media is out of the question. Although I imagine he hasn't watched a Marvel movie since Captain Marvel because we can't have women in movies. You know that. Dollar General and Dollar Tree. DoorDash, so you gotta get your own damn food, but that's fine because Burger King's a traitor anyway, and I think McDonald's is too. Doritos, Gamer Fuel. What did Doritos say? Yeah. Double Fine. Double Fine, who does the Psychonauts games. Dungeons and Dragons. Yep. Love me some Dungeons and Dragons. eBay. I don't know anyone who uses eBay anymore, but I guess you shouldn't use that because they're traitors. Etsy. So if you want any like bootleg merchandise from your favorite show, handcrafted, can't go to Etsy anymore. Oh, you use eBay? Right on. Wait, D&D is super racist though? I don't agree with that. D&D bases its races on fantasy tropes that were well born well before D&D came on the scene. Now, many of those tropes are couched in racism, but I think I don't know, it's a complicated question, isn't it, when you're talking about stuff like that. What's CCP? I'm not sure. The Fine Brothers. Fox TV. Freeform TV, so no more Pretty Little Liars for this guy. Funimation. So again, less anime. Funko, which is for the best. Have we all collectively decided, since it's not 2012 anymore, we're done with Funko Pop figures? I think we're on the same page there. Game Informer, which is apparently GameStop's bitch. I'm pretty sure GameStop just owns Game Informer. Calling them GameStop's bitch is kind of a strange thing. Garfield Eats. This is my favorite one. For those of you who don't know about Garfield... Oh, Jesus Christ. Do you guys know about Garfield Eats? If not, let me introduce you to Garfield Eats, which is a Garfield-themed restaurant, which is the dumbest idea. When people try and say capitalism is about innovation and filling gaps in the market, just show them Garfield Eats and say, what gap is this filling? It's a Garfield-themed restaurant, for fuck's sake. Garfield doesn't even eat pizza. He eats lasagna. Why did they make a Garfield-themed pizza place? Jesus. Let's look at some Garfield Eats stuff real quick, because it's so strange to me. Here's a poor employee of Garfield Eats. He's not allowed to leave the restaurant, I'd imagine. Oh, God. This is so unsettling. Why would you make him wear that mask? Ugh. You can get... Oh, Spaghetti Tuesday. Strange Aeons did a fun video on Garfield Eats. Yeah, that's how I found out about Garfield Eats, was through her. And I'm fucking obsessed with it. What? Oh, my God. And this is an ad about a sexy homeless man getting help from Garfield Eats, because they apparently donate food to homeless shelters. This is the sexiest homeless man in the history of homeless men. Capitalism fills the missing gaps in the market. Where's my 321 Penguins themed retro futuristic restaurant? That's what I'm saying. Thought Slime did a video too. I think I have seen that. Yeah. Garfield Eats is real. I thought it was a joke. No, it's totally real. You can get Garfield-shaped pizza. You can... There's a Zoom call. I don't know anything specifically about the owner, but he always wears this orange suit. And I get the impression that he was born rich and his parents gave him a bunch of money in a trust fund, and he's trying to be a venture capitalist, and the best idea he could come up with was, I don't know, Garfield's a thing, and people like pizza, and like he forgot for a second that Garfield eats lasagna and not pizza, and he went, I'll do a Garfield-themed pizza restaurant. And then like 5 months later, they're like, well, you know Garfield eats lasagna, right? Not pizza? And he went, fuck! I guess we gotta put lasagna on the menu now. I'm obsessed with Garfield Eats. There's just something about it that gets to me, and I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on it. I'm trying to find more interesting Garfield Eats stuff, because I'm... Oh, and by the way, the slogan for the restaurant is "Love me, feed me, don't leave me," which is so bizarre, coupled with everything else, because that's not like a thing Garfield says to my knowledge. I'm not a huge Garfield fan. I've only heard of one Garfield fan in my life, and that's Quentin Reviews. I don't know anyone who's like, you know what I'm a fan of? Garfield. Everyone's aware of Garfield, but I don't know anyone who just fucking loves Garfield. Does it make a profit? I have no idea. It's a private company. So their books aren't open. What else? And this is hilarious, too, because this is the most Jim Davis thing ever. Jim Davis is the creator of Garfield. And you know how Calvin and Hobbes, the creator of that, is very protective about licensing and doesn't want any products to be licensed between Calvin and Hobbes? Jim Davis is like the Star Trek mirror universe of that guy, in that he created Garfield specifically because he wanted to sell like plushies and stuff. He looked at Snoopy from the Peanuts and was like, that's a marketable character. How can I replicate that? And Garfield came out of that, and that's why Garfield, you'll find tons of products with Garfield, because Jim Davis will sell anyone the rights to Garfield. It's legit nuts. You know the old capitalist saying, if it's stupid but it makes a profit, it isn't stupid. Yeah. It's a line from the Garfield movie. The one with Bill Murray? Oh. Yikers. Here's a poor individual in a Garfield outfit. Like, doesn't this restaurant just look cursed? Like, if you walked on the street with this, wouldn't you think you're in the episode of a Twilight Zone and you're gonna go in and get a pizza, and then when you leave and turn around, the shop's gonna be gone, and the pizza's gonna have some ironic, look at how shitty they cut this pizza! Garfield, what are you doing? Jesus.
Jesus.
Ugh. Ugh, this is a sinister Garfield. Garfield, why? And they also sell Garfachinos, which is the thing, I guess. You're still not convinced this is a real restaurant? It is a real restaurant. It's a real restaurant. Police officer, I'd say is in a bad way after this in Downing Street. Oof! That's gotta hurt. Restaurant deep fake. Oh, this is the guy. This is the guy that started Garfield Eats, and he wears this suit to every, like, public event. And it seems like a producer's level scheme where he can only make money by making the worst idea for a restaurant in the history of restaurants. So he decided to invent Garfield Eats. Potato Tornado. I do like these, though. I haven't been to a Garfield Eats because there's none near me, but like at fairs, they have these spirally potato fries like that. Oh god, my tail is delicious.
Ew.
Oh god, why would you advertise like this? Oh no. Introducing the world's first Jim Davis pizza. Hey, Kiki, how you doing? That's soda. You can't drink that. Kiki, how do you feel about Garfield Eats? You're a cat. You should have an opinion on this. Are we sure it isn't a front for a money laundering? It might be.
Oh, she's a love.
Kiki. Okay, Kiki, slide over here. There you go. Now I'm in a Garfield Eats hole and I can't leave it. Farm to plate, F2P. The official symbol for sourcing farm ingredients with no GMOs, no preservations, no artificial colors. The sign is up and ready to serve. Yikers. This is an actress from the Garfield movie, I guess. Garfield's barbecue. Ooh. Gotta get you some of Garfield's secret sauce. Oh, nice. What makes this marinara specifically John Arbuckle's marinara? That's what I want to know.
You know. You know what makes it.
Garfield Eats is now on Uber Eats, which is hilarious because the original idea for the restaurant was that they have their own app called Garfield Eats where you can only order stuff from Garfield Eats. Download the Garfield Eats app to get 50% off your first order or walk in at 995 Bloor Street West in Toronto for free coffee and offers. We gotta go to Toronto.
Okay.
So we can go to Garfield Eats. Oh gosh, Kitty. Why are you always pushing buttons accident?
Kiki demands we stop.
Big cow lasagna served with... I don't want you to call your lasagna Big Cow lasagna. I'm not a vegan, but I don't want my lasagna to be called Big Cow lasagna. That's disgusting.
I mean, might as well.
Eh,
If it sounds disgusting like it actually is, then people will stop eating it.
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure I'd still eat it. With ground minced beef. That
Please get it
lasagna...
off the screen.
That lasagna does not look good, and I am a person who enjoys lasagna. But, that looks bad.
Gonna have some vegan lasagna.
It was good. Oh, Kiki. Like, she's intentionally just like, fuck this. Fuck Garfield Eats. Speciest restaurant. It's so cursed. Doesn't it just feel like a cursed restaurant? Like there's some demonic influence at hand? Like someone made a wish on a lamp and like they're like, I want to own a restaurant, but the horrifying twist was that the restaurant they get to own is Garfield Eats. Garfield Eats secret sauce made of ground up Garfield. Skinny fries with no GMO canola oil. Wait, what? Baja Blast hates non-GMO branding because she's a scientist and finds it.
Specifically, I'm a geneticist, so I understand what a GMO is.
Like, look at this restaurant. Why does the love me, feed me, don't leave me in Comic Sans? And why is there so much dead space on this sign? It just... There's a pop-up restaurant they did. Food truck. No one wants this. Alright, that's enough Garfield Eats. I'm not going to spend this whole stream on Garfield Eats. We're back to the Traitor list. If anyone is joining just now, this is a Traitor list put together by a chud named One Angry Gamer. And this chud thinks that anyone who supports Black Lives Matter or shows, you know, like, has a public Twitter thing that says, like, hey, cops, maybe you shouldn't be murdering people. They're apparently traitors, so I'm looking at some of the funnier entries in this so-called traitor list. You don't mind GMOs, Baja. Have you ever seen Jurassic Park? Checkmate. Sarcasm, they say.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That's fucking hilarious.
Can we review Goop? Maybe.
No!
Drudgery term. I think this restaurant is justified in its existence because it made the phrase Garfield Eats Canada something someone said seriously. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, let's see. GameStop is a traitor apparently. Let's see what they did. Game Informer says it best. We fully stand by the thoughtful comments from our Minneapolis-based Game Informer team. Our support for the family of George Floyd, for our city and nation. Yep, so basically just like, hey, don't kill people, cops. But apparently that makes him a traitor. Gearbox Software, Borderlands. I've been playing a lot of Borderlands recently. I love the Borderlands games. I should play Borderlands 3 on stream sometime. General Motors. So, no, there's a big portion of the American car market. Ghost Adventures. Oh no, what are you going to do without Ghost Adventures? GoFundMe. So if this person never really needs money, I guess they're going to have to go to a different crowdfunding source. Google. Oh no, they're going to have to use Bing. Bing is for porn. Don't do that. Gorilla Glue. So if you ever need like a really strong glue. Grindr, of course. I think they're just mad they didn't get enough matches. Half price books. But I don't think that's an issue. I don't think this person reads books very often. I made that joke earlier with Barnes & Noble, but I stand by my choice to say the joke twice. Home Depot. I guess they're more of a Lowe's person. Hulu, which is owned by Disney. IBM. IGN. IKEA USA. Legos for adults. Fun fact, Legos are Legos for adults. Use Legos. They're lots of fun. Captain Diabetes asks, am I on the list? I don't think so. Unfortunately, I'd like to be on the list, but I don't think I've been added. GameStop is bad not because of their shitty practices, but because they put up a picture supporting Black Lives Matter. Genius. Yeah. There are a lot of reasons to hate GameStop. That's not one of them. Oh god, Kiki. That was uncomfortable. Fun fact, says if we are here. I live in the town the Rodney King trials were held in, and a few days ago the mayor pro tem posted on his personal Facebook that the city should bring out septic tank trucks and hose down the protesters. What an asshole. Indiegogo, so no crowdfunding for this person. Infinity War, who makes the some of the Modern Warfare, or some of the, what are they called, Call of Duty games? I haven't played a Call of Duty game since the first Modern Warfare, so it's been a while. JetBlue, so can't use that. KFC, that's a shame. No more Famous Bowls. Kink.com, that's a shame for everyone all around. Insomniac Games, Infinity Ward, Kindle, Kotaku, Lego. Didn't you already say? Oh no, you said IKEA is Lego for adults, so you can't do Lego or IKEA. That's a shame. Level 99 Games, who I guess makes board games. LinkedIn. That's gonna be tough if he needs to find a new job. Lyft. I assume Uber did one too, so he's just gonna have to stick with taxi drivers, I guess. Devious Chilster says, so this traitor list is literally just everyone who didn't immediately say fuck George Floyd when they found out he died? Holy shit, what a whiny, thin-penised gaming baby. Yep, no kidding. The Make-A-Wish Foundation? How much of a shitbag do you have to be to, like, shit on the Make-A-Wish Foundation? Yikers. Marvel Entertainment, also owned by Disney. Mattel, who does Transformers. McDonald's. Oh, no Burger King or McDonald's? That's a shame.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Thanks for the 100 bits. Tucker White 24 says, I saw on the list that he's got Bank of America. I agree with them being on it, but for much different reasons. Yeah. Let's see. Microsoft, Minecraft. So is he just not, is he an Apple user? Was Apple on the list? I guess I didn't notice. MTV. I don't think anyone's watched MTV in 25 years, so I don't think that's an issue. NBC. NBC Universal.
I'm making tater tots. Do you want some?
Yes, please.
Ooh.
What?
That headphone was wet.
It's just from my hair, I think. Netflix, which is left-wing propaganda. Oh, God. The NFL, of course. Even though they fired Colin Kaepernick. Obsidian Entertainment, who made Fallout New Vegas and The Outer Worlds, the Oprah Winfrey Network, O'Reilly Media. Is that Bill O'Reilly's company? Gain technology and business home skill. No, totally different. Gotcha. Pandora. Panera Bread. Oh, but their carbs are so good. Patreon hipster welfare. Yeah, well. How does he make money? He has a website. We're going to check out his website after we're done looking at the list. Thank you, Olivia Anomaly. PayPal, legal money laundering. I like the little comments he puts next to these. He thinks he's snappy, but he's not. PepsiCo. So no Pepsi or Coke? I mean, that's probably better for you. I mean, soda is not great for you, but,
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Blandrick, thank you for subscribing. Much appreciated. Pixar, that's a shame. Although they've been putting out some pretty shitty stuff lately, so I guess that's fine. Planned Parenthood, oh god. All lives matter except for fetuses. That's an intentionally obtuse and ridiculous statement. Playboy, fine. PlayStation, this guy's a game reviewer, at least as far as I understand it to be from what I've seen of his website, and PlayStation and Microsoft are on the list, and I'm pretty sure Nintendo is too, because Nintendo did a thing for Black Lives Matter. So he can only play PC games, and I don't know if Steam came out and said anything about Black Lives Matter, but it wouldn't surprise me. A lot of big companies are doing it because it's cheap, points right now. So can he just not play video games anymore? That's a shame. Oh, Popeye's chicken. No, you gotta get some Popeye's chicken. Their biscuits are delicious. Oh, and Pop-Tarts. That's a shame. I love Pop-Tarts. They're like breakfast cookies. Why is Pokemon a traitor? Well, probably because they're owned by Nintendo. And Nintendo
There's nothing funny about the
did a
tools
thing.
of capitalism.
Dim302 with a bunch of biddies. Hey, Hannah, have you watched the Candace Owens video where she tries to justify George Flynn's murder? No. I'm sure I'll watch it at some point, but, make sure you use ad block if you're going on his site. Yeah, I have ad block on. Come on. Kitty. Come on. Here. Enjoy the window. Power Rangers is on probation. Why is Power Rangers on probation? Oh, because they just did the Blackout Tuesday. Ooh, do I follow the Power Rangers? Follow. I love me some Power Rangers. Oh, some of the people are on Twitter too. Austin St. John. Is that the pink? Who is this? I don't know who that is. You guys like Power Rangers? I really like Power Rangers. Ooh, they're doing new Dark Rangers. Oh, they're like Lord Zed Dark Rangers. I'm on board for that.
Do I have to take that pen away from you?
I need it for D&D. I'll just put it in there. I own the first collection of Boom Studios comics. I need to read them at some point. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked on Power Rangers. Procter & Gamble, which makes just a fuck ton of products. I'm against giant mega corporations, but not because they promote Black Lives Matter. That's for fucking sure. Pusheen the cat. Why is Pusheen the cat? Oh, of course, because they're not racist. That's going to be the answer for all these. Reddit communism. Reddit, the site that has fostered one of the worst and most toxic Trump communities on the internet, is apparently communist. Yeah, okay then. Sushi Mom 10, I was too busy having the nerdiest crush on Steve Irwin as a kid to get into Power Rangers. Yeah. Power Rangers is old. Power Rangers is still on TV. It's never been canceled. What are you talking about? Mighty Morphin Power Rangers is old, but Power Rangers is still going today. Etsy is a traitor. Yeah. Reddit had the jailbait subreddit for years. Yep, they did. Rockstar Games, which, frankly, if you don't understand that Rockstar Games, like Red Dead Redemption 2, Red Dead Redemption, the Grand Theft Auto games, have a ton of satire in them that shits on racists and sort of oppressive power structures, you're not paying attention. Like, do these people just play the games and go, ha 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 ha, I shot a hooker in the face, ha ha ha? Are you not listening to what's going on in the story? Jeez, like, San Andreas, the, like, big villain of that outside of Big Smoke, who betrays you, is a cop who is abusing his power and using his power to shit on people in a downtown neighborhood. Like, you couldn't get more blatant than that. Jesus. RuPaul's Drag Race, not safe for life. I assume he's just making a joke because they are drag queens and he doesn't like drag queens. Sega is a traitor, I guess.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
I'm pretty sure Sonic the Hedgehog would say Black Lives Matter. Pretty sure. Devious Chillster with 50 bits. My favorite bit about this life is imagining this piss baby going through Twitter, clearly searching for Black Lives Matter, snickering to himself and going, no they don't, to the list every time he finds a company or person saying that they do. He then looks towards his Asuka body pillow and says, I did it, dear. We're saving the world. Yeah. Someone else says, in Red Dead Redemption 2, they put the KKK in the game and you gain morality if you kill them. I know. I love that. I love that game so much. Same with the eugenics guy in Saint Denis. It's almost like they aren't okay with racism. Yep. I always beat the I kill the KKK and I beat up the eugenics guy. Sesame Street is a traitor. Sirius XM, so no satellite radio. Skillshare. Sony Music, Sony Pictures. I think Sony would have covered all that. SoundCloud, Spotify. So no Spotify and no Pandora. This dude cannot listen to any music reasonably in this day and age. Star Trek. Star Wars. Star Trek is one of the most openly progressive shows that's ever existed. They're not perfect. Their track record with gay characters isn't great. Like, for instance, in Deep Space Nine, when they went into the mirror universe and the evil versions of them seemingly were bisexual. Like, that's not good. No bueno. But otherwise, Star Trek is pretty fucking progressive. Crimson 11, not safe for life, usually stands for not safe for lunch, which is what I think he means when referring to drag queens. Oh, I've mostly seen that as not safe for life, because it's like gore or something. Murdoch is God. Oh, I dragged the eugenics guy behind my horse for the horse bonding achievement every playthrough. Oh, God. Katrina Hood. Question, what do many right-winger chuds like about Star Trek? Steve Shives had a video about this that I think is pretty enlightening. Basically, when right-leaning people who like Star Trek watch Star Trek, what they see is not a liberal communist utopia. What they see is an Earth fronted by a military organization, Starfleet, and it's about a military organization taking on things in the universe, and that's how they see it. And they just kind of ignore other stuff. Taco Bell. Wow, this person really isn't going to get any fast food from now on.
It's okay. He's going to make his wife stay in the kitchen.
I doubt this person has a girlfriend. Or boyfriend. Definitely
said
not a
wife.
boyfriend. Oh, whatever. A wife. A partner. I doubt he has a partner.
You'd be surprised.
Toontown. I assume they mean the rebooted Toontown, since original Toontown is... Oh, F?
Yeah, there's like a huge lag. It's your internet, because my phone is also not working.
Shit. I'm back? Okay. Okay, sorry about that. My internet cut out for a second. T-Mobile, another cell phone company. So this dude better throw out every cell phone he has. I assume he has multiple, maybe some burners. Because I don't think he's making enough money on his website to be sustaining himself without dealing drugs. Twitch.tv. Oh no, we're all on a trader website. Whoopsie. TV Land, so I guess you can't watch your reruns of I Love Lucy anymore. Uber. Spying taxi service. Uber Eats. Universal Music Group. VH1. Verizon Media, which is of course also a cell phone company. Walmart. Warhammer. Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers Music Group. Wendy's. That's a shame. Wendy's is real good. Wendy's is amazing. I love Wendy's. Yahoo. No big loss there. YouTube. Okay, let's see what the celebrities list is, and then we can go look at his reviews on his website. How does this dude review games? Yeah, no kidding. Why do so many chuds like Warhammer? I have no idea. Don't do this to you now. Now you have to get Wendy's. Good. Get me a Baconator. Celebrities and e-celebrities. I'm not going to know a lot of these people because I don't keep up on, like, modern celebrities. Alyssa Milano. Andrew Yang. Anonymous, which are apparently... You'd think that would go more under the organization tab, not celebrities tab. Ben Schwartz, I think he plays Jean-Ralphio, right? Yeah, he's Jean-Ralphio. As Jean-Ralphio would say, one angry gamer is the worst! Bill Nye, yeah, of course. I accidentally jumped down. Bill Nye, the science guy. Billie Eilish, Black Nerd, who is a YouTuber. Bon Jovi, Brie Larson, and then in parentheses, felt the need to say lacks a butt. Brie Larson is amazing. How dare you, sir? And she has a nice butt. Not that that's relevant to her character.
Who has a nice butt?
Brie Larson.
Yeah, she does.
She's very attractive. I like her.
She is.
I like Captain Marvel. We watched that the other day because Baja had never seen it before.
I'd fuck her.
Ben Schwartz is the voice of Sonic the Hedgehog in the Sonic movie. Oh, that makes sense. I liked the Sonic movie. I thought it was cute. It was way better than I thought it was going to be. I think the sequel will actually be fun, and I like Jim Carrey as Eggman a lot. Butch Hartman, who did the Fairly Odd Parents and Danny Phantom and, you know, all those cartoons. Tough Puppy, I think. Butch Hartman is kind of a weird guy. Remember when he tried to do his own,
Kiki, no. You are on a computer.
Remember when Butch Hartman tried to do his own streaming service, and he bait and switched people by implying it was going to be a normal cartoon streaming service, but then it turned out to be like a family-friendly Christian, pseudo-Christian thing? I don't know if it ever got off the ground or not. The Noog Network. Is this it? Shows, tunes created by Butch Hartman. TikTok Noog Network. Not familiar. I loved Danny Phantom growing up. I loved... Because I love superheroes, but I also just find Danny Phantom's powers to be cool. I like the idea of a ghost-themed superhero. I don't know if DC or Marvel has anything like that, but... And I don't mean like Ghost Rider. I mean specifically stuff that's more ghosty. Oh, Kiki. Kiki.
No, it's lagging again.
Gosh darn it. O-axis.
Can you, like, turn down the bitrate or something?
Yeah. Probably. One second, I'm trying to see if I can turn on the bitrate. I don't know how to do it in this one. Shite.
Can you... So, like, a settings button?
I'm looking right now.
Down on the bottom left corner.
There we go. I don't think I can change it while I'm streaming.
You did last time.
That was a different program. We're back? Okay, I don't know why that keeps happening. Refresh. Council of Geeks, who is a YouTuber that I enjoy. Chris Evans, Captain America. Can you imagine disagreeing with Captain America and saying that Captain America is a traitor? Because that's literally what the villains do in the second Captain America movie. Chris Stuckman. Comment Etiquette, it was very funny. Am I still Comment Etiquettes? Hold on. Oh, no, we changed it. For a long time, I was Comment Etiquette's banner, because I bought one of his shirts, and I said, why did I buy a shirt of a fake genie movie? Because it was the Kazam shirt. Bunch of K-pop singers. Dave Bautista, former superstar. What? He's in some of the biggest movies in the world. He's in the Guardians of the Galaxy movies as Drax. He's huger than he's ever been. Demi Lovato, Don Cheadle, who is War Machine. Ed Boon, who is the developer, I think the director of the Mortal Kombat games. He's the guy that says, Toasty, when you do, Scorpion combos. Eminem, and it's, of course, racist right here. Inverted Oreo, idiot. Game Grumps. Greta Thunberg. Guns N' Roses, H3H3. Hasanabe, H-Bomber Guy, Ice Cube, iJustine, Jane Fonda, who the right has hated since the Vietnam War. J.K. Rowling. J.K. Rowling is a transphobe, unfortunately. Justin Bieber. Justin Trudeau. Kanye West, which is hilarious because Kanye West is a big Trump supporter. Katy Perry. Kesha. Kevin Hart, Kim Kardashian, Korn, the band, Lady Gaga, Legacy Killer HD. I've heard that, but I'm not sure who it is. Lin-Manuel Miranda, cultural appropriator. Yikers. Can you imagine watching Hamilton, which is a fucking fantastic musical, and thinking cultural appropriation? You can't make George Washington black. Who the fuck cares? Who the fuck cares? That's one of my favorite parts of Hamilton, is knowing that Thomas Jefferson would hate he's being played by a black man. It's fucking fantastic. Logan Paul, who is an idiot, but not for the reasons this person says. Madonna. Mara Wilson, who is Matilda. Mark Hamill, senior breastfeeder. Yeah, when you're shitting on Luke Skywalker and Captain America, maybe rethink yourself. Wow, I have a lot of viewers right now compared to usual. That's crazy.
I think that's your top.
Yeah, this is the most people I've ever had at one time. Thank you very much, everyone, for coming to the stream. H-Bomber Guy is a big old duh. Yep. Matt Reeves, who is the director of The Batman, the upcoming Batman movie. Naughty Dogs, Neil Druckmann. Patton Oswalt, PewDiePie, Quentin Reviews. Quentin Reviews is great. Check out Quentin Reviews on YouTube if you haven't. Review Tech USA, who I'm familiar with. I mean, I'm aware of his stuff, not that I know him, because I do not. Ryan Reynolds pegged Deadpool. Yes, there is a pegging joke in Deadpool. Scott Wozniak, Scott the Woz, also another great channel. Selena Gomez, Seth Rogen, Celebrity Leech. Seth Rogen writes and stars in multiple movies. What are you talking about? Smash Mouth. 2020. I just want to send a message back to myself in 2016. It's 2020. Donald Trump is president. DC is on fire and Smash Mouth is a traitor to the United States of America. Stephen King. Steve Carell. Sum 41, who I think wrote Ocean Avenue. The Beatles. Most of the Beatles are dead. What do you mean the Beatles? Do you mean Paul McCartney? Oh, it's the official Beatles account. I don't even know who runs this. No one from the Beatles runs that. So it's kind of a weird thing to say. The Weeknd. Victoria Justice. Will Wheaton. Will Wheaton's great, by the way. Young Ye, who I really like. He's a voice actor, and he talks about games and stuff on YouTube. And those are the only ones I know. That's crazy. OneAngryGamer.net. Now, let's take a look at actually some of his articles, because I need to see what he's got going on. Because I guarantee he just bitches about the dumbest stuff. Bye, Kiki. Oh, God. Yes, I'm a human. Submit. Please click on each image containing an airplane. That's an airplane, that's an airplane, that's an airplane, that's an airplane. Well, it's an airplane wing. I assume that counts because it's part of an airplane. That's an airplane, that... Oh, shit. God damn it. Umbrella. 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 Umbrella.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Thank you, Phoenix413 for your 100 bits. Imagine being so anti-SJW that you call a band where most of the members are dead traitors. Yeah, no kidding. Apollo 8192, please be as descriptive as possible. I'm listening to this while playing Borderlands 2. Good. I've been playing Borderlands 2 recently, too, because it just came out on Switch. So I got it for the Switch. I love that game. I played that so much. Jake and I used to play that a little bit at his house, actually. I really like the gunplay in Borderlands 3, but the story's better in Borderlands 2. Hannah, I refuse to believe this isn't a shit post. It's not. He's genuinely crazy. Every one of my kidlets on the Gulf Coast, please be safe, says Sushi Mom 10. Yes, please everyone be safe. Whatever's going on. Apollo 8192. Oh, I already read that one. Whoopsie-doo. Okay, let's take a look at his stupid website and see what he has to say about stuff. Japan anti-online piracy law. Don't care about that. House Flipper launches on Nintendo Switch. That seems like a strange thing to make an article about. Oh god, he's got a Get Woke, Go Broke master list, Steam Waifu banned games, SJW sexual misconduct master list, Sony censored games master list, and Traitors of America. We can look at those in a little bit. Apollo 8192, I just got it because it was free on Epic Games. I've been playing it a little before, but this will be my first real playthrough. Yeah, I like the Borderlands games. They're fun. Rowling's recent tweet is yikes. Oh god, what did Rowling tweet? Oh god, here we go. If sex isn't real, there's no same-sex attraction. Sex is real, but it's different than gender, you fucking idiot. If sex isn't real, the lived reality of women globally is erased. So apparently she thinks women are literally just vaginas with legs. That's cool. I know and I love trans people, but erasing the concept of sex removes the ability of many to meaningfully discuss their lives. It isn't hate to speak the truth. Yikers. Let me... Yeah, she's a fucking TERF. It's ridiculous. She claims that, like, there are no trans people in Harry Potter world. Like, obviously there are none in the book, but she's saying, like, in the fictional universe, wizards cannot be trans. And I could understand if she was saying, like, oh, they can do magic to make you match your, like, gender you identify as, but that's not what she's saying. She's just saying wizards literally cannot produce trans children for some reason. It's very strange. Wonder Woman Tempest tossed turns Steve Trevor gay. Thank you.
You're not allowed to make fun of how I eat tater tots, by the way.
Why?
Because you're not allowed to make fun of me.
You're gonna eat them with a fork?
No. It's worse than that.
Oh god. Is this one of the things where you're gonna chew it up and spit it out?
No, shut up.
Okay, what are you gonna do? Okay, so this is a recent Wonder Woman graphic novel that came out. I haven't read it, but I did a cursory glance at the reviews, and it looked like the reviews were pretty good for it. But of course, yeah, fine. He's just gonna bitch because Steve Trevor's gay in it, and I think he's also Asian now or something. It's like hash browns.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I was just reading the comments. So let's read this article. DC Comics has been spiraling down the drain for quite a while now. What's DC Comics? Are they a publicly traded company? Oh, they're just part of Time Warner? Well, that's hard to say then. But I think DC's probably doing okay. They're one of the top 2 comic companies in the country. Marvel might be doing better, but that's probably because of the success of the MCU. DC Comics has been spiraling down the drain for quite a while now. Need a source on that. They've regularly race-swapped, sex-swapped, or gender-swapped characters, and every new print edition is basically a gamble if one of your beloved characters will get the pause treatment. I don't know what that means. Well, if Steve Trevor happened to be your favorite, he's not only to be race-swapped, but gay-swapped too. If you've read literally any comic ever, actually you need to read multiple, but comics change their continuity all the fucking time. All the fucking time. The fact that he's Asian now doesn't matter at fucking all. The fact that he's gay now, who cares? He was a fictional character. Their writer wanted to do something interesting with him, and they found that making him gay was more interesting for the story they're telling. There's nothing wrong with that. According to comicbook.com, Laurie Halse Anderson and Leila Del Duca's Wonder Woman Tempest Tossed graphic novel decided to completely desecrate the character of Steve Trevor desecrate. He's a fictional character. By doing 3 things: splitting him into 2 different characters, changing his sexual orientation, and race swapping both his doppelgangers. Okay, who cares? Jesus. Typically, Steve Trevor has been the love interest for Diana, and also her bridge from her world into the human realm. Anderson and Duca decided to spit on his legacy of the character by making it exclusively oriented for the Alphabet Soup Brigade. He's, of course, talking about, like, LGBT people. Thank you for following, Livlin. Well, typically Steve Trevor... Oh, read that part. In the Tempest Toss, Steve Trevor becomes Steve Chang, and he's married to another man named Trevor, who's a black soldier. The two are helping refugees in Greece and are aided by Wonder Woman, who leaves Themyscira to also help the refugees. And I'll just read this comic panel real quick. More men, more problems. What's wrong? They're trying to escape. Who are you? Steve Chang, my husband Trevor, and I work for the United Nations. We're inspecting the camp. The entire thing is overt liberal propaganda. Gays existing is liberal propaganda. Asians and black people existing is liberal propaganda. Jesus Christ, dude. Get your head out of your asshole.
So we're liberal propaganda?
Yeah, apparently. And it comes shortly after an Elseworlds spin-off for Batman. Again, it's an Elseworlds spin-off. Elseworlds spin-offs has done everything from making Batman to a vampire to making Batman, like, a Daredevil-esque Catholic priest who fights crime in the night. Like, that's what Elseworlds is for. It's for alternate universe stories. It's like the What If Marvel comic series. Ika Phoenix says, you can be a bridge between her realm and the human realm without fucking, though. No, of course. She's Wonder Woman, so of course she has to be fucked. I don't understand where this kind of thought comes from. It's very stupid. Katrina Hood. But Hannah, what about changing a black character to a white one, or a gay character to a straight one? What I imagine OAG would say without the understanding that there isn't a shortage of white straight characters in popular media. Yep. Sushi Mom 10. Trump just mocked I Can't Breathe. Of course he fucking did. What a piece of shit. Yikes. This sounds more like they made 2 new characters and named them in a way that referenced another character. Yeah. It seems like they're completely different characters. It might be a reference, but that's about it. Rain Dean, I wonder if he hates Justice League Unlimited because they use a different Green Lantern. Jon Stewart's great. The Green Lantern, Jon Stewart. This comes shortly after an Elseworlds spin-off for Batman that turned Bruce Wayne Asian and Alfred into a gay Chinese man. Yes, they have quite the obsession with gayifying your favorite heroes. It's almost like gay people haven't had representation in media for, like, centuries, and people like to give representation out and try new things with these characters. Let's see. Who cares that Alfred is gay? Alfred doesn't typically have relationships in Batman in the first place. The fact that they made him gay, who cares? He has a husband, great. Good for Alfred. For all you know, Alfred is already gay in the normal universe. We just never see him with anyone. Yeah, this website's awful. They go out of their way to rub the whole thing in your face like a crotch plate when you're getting teabagged in Halo. Is this guy fucking 12 years old? Jesus Christ. How are they rubbing it in your face? They're just different characters, dude. Even Comic Book noted that the entire character alteration was to remove any hint of heterosexual romance between Steve and Diana writing. The creative team doubles not... Sorry, tater tots in my mouth. The creative team doubles not only doesn't make Trevor a love interest for Diana, but eliminates the possibility of his ever being one by turning him into 2 married individuals. This is also significant because it gives Diana her first glimpse of a loving relationship outside of her home. Valid point. There's no defending any aspect of this. It's just out and out blatant propaganda. Gays existing is propaganda. Fuck off. It also ignores some basic facts and chooses to engage the homosexual lifestyle. Is it 1983? Are we really using the homosexual lifestyle in 2020? Yikerinos. He says, gays and lesbians are only 1.6% of the population, but gays account for 67% of HIV cases. Okay, first of all, there's more than 1.6% of the population that are gay. He's using the absolute lowest number. And also, HIV is more prevalent amongst gay males because of the transmission rates involved in anal sex. Thank you, Crimson11, for gifting 5 subs. Much appreciated. Gays have higher rates of substance and drug abuse, which of course part of the reason is because they're not accepted by society even today, especially by shitbags like this one angry gamer dude. Lesbians have double the rates of domestic abuse. Gays statistically have far more sexual partners than heterosexuals, probably again because it becomes difficult to settle down in a society that doesn't want you to settle down with a partner. If you are gay, gays have higher than normal rates of STDs. Gays have higher than normal suicide rates. The suicide rates are absolutely because of shitbags like this, who take every opportunity to be mean to them for, like, no fucking reason. It's ridiculous. They flirted with turning Diana into a lesbian for some time now, but don't be surprised if they go full bore with it at some point in the future. If Wonder Woman becomes a lesbian or if she's bisexual, who cares? Why does that matter? She comes from an island of all women. Like, do you think none of them are getting it on with each other, dude?
Found these under your desk.
Mm-hmm. Space Jam underwear.
Oh, Hannah.
Someone sent those to me. Crimson11 says, "Ite chat, I didn't gift subs for there not to be a hype train. Get on it." Good luck. So yeah. This dude's an asshole. Let's see what other petty shit he bitches
There's nothing
about.
funny about the tools of capitalism.
Rain Dean with 245 bits. Fuck this guy in the neck. He's clearly just homophobic shit. Anyways, hype train. Thank you for the bits. Trying to find interesting articles to click on. Kiki. Nope. You set this back there. No potato for you. You're an obligate carnivore. You need meat. Sorry for the mouth ASMR. Netflix's live-action Cowboy Bebop will censor Faye's outfit so a real-life human can wear it. Yeah, a lot of... I'm gonna have to look at a picture of this outfit. But, like, if you dressed a real human in some of the outfits that people wear in anime, it would look ridiculous. It would look silly. It's an adaptation. You have to adapt it. Older posts. Oops. Faye's outfit is ridiculous. Let me take a look. Oh! Yeah, if you put a human in this, you'd be like, why are you wearing this? You need to make an adaptation. I'm sure they'll do something that evokes this, but they'll tone it down so it's reasonable that a human being would wear it out every day. And then, of course, he posts pictures of women, like, out on a day out that's sunny at, like, a sporting event. And they're like, oh, women wear shorts and shirt. Okay, she's wearing less than they are.
There's nothing
you
funny
get that,
about the
right?
tools of capitalism.
Yay, hype train!
Arenas 3 with 250 bits just got here. You look fabulous, Hannah. Either your makeup is on point or you're just hot. Thank you very much. I did my makeup today.
Or
so.
it's both.
Hype Train, level 2, 78%. Damn. Thank you.
Let's force Hannah to wear all the hats. Also, it's our 4-month anniversary.
It is. It
There's
is our
nothing
4-month
funny about the
anniversary
tools of
today.
capitalism.
MW1642 with 200 bits. Did someone say Hype Train? Microsoft confirms Xbox Series X will launch in
That's right,
Japan.
capitalistic propaganda.
Devious Chillster with 50 bits. But Hannah, if we can't jerk it to live-action remake, how can we know we're in America? Yeah, funny. Thank you, Freezer Burn, for gifting a sub.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
McSqueeb117, 50 bits. Hype! So far we are at, let me see, level 2 completed.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Level 3 Hype Train, 19%. Wonder Woman hat, very apt.
Yep.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Thank you, everyone.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Drake Wing, for gifting 2 subs, and
nothing
Rain
funny about the
Dean
tools
for
of
gifting a
capitalism.
sub. 90% Hype Train level 3. Marvel DC pros openly support Antifa while Trump preps to label them as domestic terrorists.
funny about the
For the
tools of
record,
capitalism.
Antifa is not an organization that has, like, leaders and cells. It's just anyone who goes out and is anti-fascist is Antifa. That's literally what it is.
Nothing funny about
The
tools
reason
of
Trump and them are
capitalism.
trying to label Antifa as a terrorist organization is so they can just say, oh, you're out protesting me? You're Antifa. You're a terrorist. We're gonna arrest you. It's blatant fucking fascism.
funny about
Thank
the
you,
tools of
Drake Wing, for
capitalism.
gifting a sub. Let me see what else. Drake Wing, thank you for gifting subs. I think I said that. Captain America. Alright. Game Gear micro launches. I'm trying to look for his anti-SGW stuff. CD Projekt Red delays Cyberpunk 77 Night
nothing
City
funny
Wire
about the
digital
tools of
event due to
capitalism.
hashtag Black Lives Matter. I did see that. PlayStation also delayed their reveal of the PlayStation 5 by about a week or two, probably. I don't even know if they announced a date yet what they're gonna do it, because of all this stuff going on. 200 bits. Cheer, cheer, more hats. Thank you very much. P-Cube defends its controversial hashtag Black Lives
There's nothing
Matter
funny
tweet,
about the
say it
tools
isn't
of
political. Yikers. Rain Dean with 510 bits. Pride. Choo choo, Dark Mother. Thank you very much. Let's see. Various professional comic book artists decided to openly support Antifa, a domestic terrorist group. They're not a group. It's just anyone who goes out and says, like, hey, I'm anti-fascist. Literally, if you are not a fascist, you're probably anti-fascist. Before quickly pulling down the logos for President Trump, after President Trump announced that he would soon be declaring them as a domestic terrorist due to their affiliation with attempting to burn down half America in riots. That's an over-exaggeration. Half of America? Sure. A couple of hashtag Comicsgate YouTubers. Oh, God. There's a Comicsgate. Is that just a bunch of people like the Quartering going around and jerking off to the idea that the feminists are ruining your comic books? Fuck off. Others joined in to show their support for Antifa, such as Jamal Eigel, a writer and editor who has worked on Supergirl, Superman, Iron, and New Warriors, to name a few, for Marvel, DC, and IDW Publishing. YouTuber That Umbrella Guy did a video highlighting some of the comic book pros who have been throwing their lot in with Antifa, with one segment highlighting Zoe Quinn's open support for the movement, all while having books published by DC and Marvel. Yeah, yep. You should be anti-fascist if you're not a fucking fascist. This guy is, though, as I'd imagine. Check his ethnic policy at the bottom. Oh, God, what was that? I didn't see that. Is there, like, a thing at the bottom? Oh, God, the comments are probably such shit.
That's right, capitalistic propaganda.
Thank you to Rattlecube for following. As different companies copy-paste the same message to promote Black Lives Matter, it's almost like memes are helpful in spreading ideas, and repeated phrases are helpful. Trump understands this, for instance, stuff like build the wall, drain the swamp, easily repeatable sound bites spread very quickly. It's powerful for any political movement. And the act of criminal behavior, assault, theft, and vandalism, we now have CG Projekt Red joining Cyberpunk 2077 on the ever-growing Traitors of America list, which is the list I showed earlier. The upcoming Night City Wire digital event has been delayed from June 11th to June 25th. Due to the most recent agenda that's currently taking place. The following information should come as no surprise. The game that was announced back in 2013 had a completely different promotional campaign that later turned into any other current year work as CD Projekt Red inched closer to 2077's release. It's a cyberpunk game. Cyberpunk is a genre predicated upon taking shots at the power structures that be and saying, hey, if we don't rein in powerful organizations, corporations, the cops, we're going to wind up in a totalitarian state, more or less. That's what cyberpunk is, dude. God. From the recent diversity charter development and diversity group implementation to all of the degeneracy placed through the latest videos. Oh god, what's the degeneracy that you're claiming is a thing? Is it the existence of a trans person in it? Is that it? So first and foremost, your character in Cyberpunk 2077, named V, is depicted as an outright degenerate. The commentary over the video talks a lot about choice and whatnot, but we don't really see any examples of it. There are multiple examples of it in the demo. I watched the whole 40-minute demo multiple times because I'm very excited for the game. Come on. That's not to mention that the default characters they chose for the demo was ugly and visually repulsive as a typical depiction of how SJWs make females look. Shaved head, dyed hair, drugged up visage. It's a cyberpunk game. I notice he doesn't make a comment about the guy who also has an interesting cyberpunk futuristic haircut. Of course, he doesn't want to fuck the guy, though, so he doesn't care about that. Rain Dean, 245 bits, can't see the train on mobile, but let's get hype. Are we done with the hype? Yeah, the hype train's done. Thank you, though. The timer ran out. Maybe next time we'll get to level 5, guys. Thank you, though. Everything wrong with the Cyberpunk 20, and then there's pictures which look like, you know, a cute character with some cool tattoos. Is he saying that this woman is not attractive? She's incredibly fucking attractive. She's a similar haircut to you, actually, when you do your hair sideways. And this dude, who has a cool mustache, and I like his streak of color in his hair. It's pretty neat. To the developer's credit, at least they didn't deck her out in hideous tattoos during the demonstration. I'm sure you can get tattoos in the game. It's a game where you can modify your body, I'd imagine. They don't have to look hideous, drugged up, or like SJWs. You can do all sorts of creative depictions of cyberpunk that are both disturbing, sexy, like the female models used in Deus Ex promotionals. Does he want to stick his dick in this machinery? Because that seems very dangerous. Yikes, dude. Vince Panacea, this just in, Chud still can't look and read past the surface level aesthetic. No kidding. How stupid is this guy that he doesn't understand what cyberpunk is? Devious Chillster, but wait, I'd fucking watch a TV show with the art that he's showing. What the fuck is he talking about? So cute. Yeah, I know, right? He's delusional. And you know what? Here's the thing. If he doesn't particularly find this person attractive or this person attractive who's depicted here, that's fine. Not everything is supposed to be attractive to everyone. It's also the main character of a video game that you're playing. You don't have to want to fuck them. It's a first-person game anyway. You don't see the character. Why do you care? Ugh. Now the centrist TM and leftist will say, but it's cyberpunk. They're supposed to look hideous. And to that I say, bullcrap. Yikers. They don't look hideous. What are you talking about? but what little we've seen of the character creator seems eerily similar to BioWare's games where you pick a head, pick some hair, pick some colors, change the makeup and add some tattoos. The heads on display in the character creator don't inspire much confidence as far as choice is concerned, which you can take a peek at from the image below. CD Projekt Red has said that this is not the final version of the character creator either. They're adding a bunch of other options in it. The selections are going to be defended by the typical centrist TM, as they're not finished with the game and wait until the final product. They literally said this, yes, which is a reasonable answer. This is not a final build of the game. And also, the person they're showing is attractive. What are you talking about? They could have used any avatar they wanted for the demonstration. Why go with something SJW friendly, really? Can you imagine how exhausting it must be to look at all media through this, like, reactionary lens?
No.
Where you need to, like, vet everything and decide if it's being too virtuous. And, like, no. I need things that are racist and sexist and depict women as sex objects. Fantastic.
She just looks hot. Like...
Yep. Where the heck were any of the hot women in the selection menu? If you can show us a bunch of SJW options, you can also show us a bunch of 10 out of 10 would bang again hotties. Look, I'm a person, I enjoy depictions of attractive people as much as anyone. Fine, there's a reason actors and actresses in TV shows tend to be what we consider to be traditionally attractive, or whatever you want to call it. But not every single thing needs to be that. How single-minded do you have to be to think, if I don't want to fuck this character, I don't care about this story? Why are you even... Porn exists. If you just want to go jerk off, go jerk off. Why does everything need to be wank material, for fuck's sake? Where were the cyberpunk chicks like the mock-up of Circe from Desiree's SFM, which is a character from The Witcher in the cyberpunk universe? Or depictions of an augmented beauty from Eddie Shinjuku. What are you talking about? This person looks very similar to this person. You just don't like her hairdo. Then change her hairdo, dude. What are you talking about? They could even have gone with something hot and spicy, like Masage Kusara's cyberpunk chick. Where was the avatar for the female based on the model used in the original CG trailer that got everyone hyped for Cyberpunk 2077 in the first place? What about her? They're both attractive women. The one down there and the one up here. It just seems like you don't like the haircut. Now, if your response is that they chose something SJW-friendly to please the game journalists, then congratulations on having handed your ideological balls to the leftists. Oh my goodness. Sorry, I'm reading the chat. CG Projekt Red didn't have to do anything with the CGI trailer. They teased us with the kind of imagery we're usually used to seeing in association with the cyberpunk genre. Something sleek, something sexy, something dirty, and something dangerous. I don't believe this person has seen any... I don't even believe they've seen fucking Blade Runner, if this is how they only see cyberpunk. But more to the point, the one thing most of us expected from the demo was at least something akin to CG Projekt Red's original vision that was depicted back in 2012, where yes, the main female featured in the demo was hot and the world seemed dark and intoxicating. But instead of maintaining the sleek sexiness, they went with the SJW-ness. Regardless, people have given up so much of their own ideological real estate to the leftist principles that they don't even mind anyone not having the option and not being presented with the possibility of making sexy characters. Dude! You can make whatever you want. Who cares? Again, though, it's a first-person game. You're not gonna see this character outside of the menus. If you want to jerk off, go watch porn. Heck, one of our most high-traffic articles was for Mass Effect Andromeda, was how to make the female characters look attractive since all the default options were hideous. That's the problem with Mass Effect Andromeda in general. All the character models look real janky, but it's not about attractiveness, it's just they look uncanny valley-y. Mm. Mm. But I digress. Back to Cyberpunk 2077. Imagine looking at this woman and saying you find her, like, gross or SJWE. She's got full-on side boob going on. She's, like, incredibly conventionally attractive. What are you talking about? Phrenic31, thanks for the bits. Interesting how he seems mad that Cyberpunk game has prioritized a punk aesthetic. Yep. He's an idiot. At the top of the article, I mentioned the main character is degenerate. We see this when the character wakes up after a one-night stand with another character. Oh, so he's horny, but he also doesn't want women to sleep with people. He's that kind of chud. Lovely. According to CG Projekt Red, players will have the choice in how their character develops, but we don't see this or get any hints of this at all. Yeah, it was a game demo. Do you want them to show you a 40-hour playthrough so it's not fun when you play it yourself? The transition from the first mission to the character waking up after a pointless night of sex doesn't indicate that maybe players can choose to sleep with people or not. We're simply told that there are choices, but there's no prompt or any indication that you don't have to have pointless one-night stands. Imagine getting so mad that a character isn't hot enough for you that you make a whole article about it, but then also being mad that the character is having too much sex. Like, how is this an opinion that you hold? How are these two opinions you hold simultaneously? Do you not see the inherent contradiction within the words that you are saying?
It's fucking annoying.
Yep. Oh, yes, he's clearly jealous of the fictional male characters in the game. He's getting cucked by NPCs, and he can't handle it. I know, he's ridiculous. In the Eurogamer interview, it was also acknowledged that in the demo, when playing as the male version of V, your character still wakes up next to another male. So the implication is that your character is gay. Your character can be gay. They can also be straight, and they can be bi. I believe that's a choice that you're given within the game. Once again, CD Projekt Red doesn't really clarify if players can avoid it altogether, or if just that particular cinematic is ingrained into the storytelling. Quest designer Philip Weber told Eurogamer. But here's the thing, I've seen this demo multiple times, and it does inform the character. V is a mercenary. V gets money from jobs and blows it on augments and hooks up with people. It characterizes this character that you're embodying to say that they're in sort of this dystopian city, but they're still trying to get by and enjoy themselves. And after a night of, like, what is, even within that cutscene, seemingly just fun, meaningless sex or whatever, she's just like, alright, ready for the day. And she was clearly boozed up last night. Like, this is part of storytelling. It's insane to me that he's so obtuse that he refuses to see this. This explanation doesn't necessarily denounce, change, or alter the implication of whether or not this scenario still carries over into the main game, but the presentation here didn't seem to indicate that your character couldn't be degenerate. This guy's a full-on Nazi. No one uses the term degenerate, for one thing, in regular conversation at all, much less 5 times in the same article about a video game. Now I know what the typical response will be. Wait for the main game! Okay, great, but if you're going to overlay commentary about choice, it would have at least been nice to see or at least get a hint that your character doesn't have to be degenerate. You know, sort of like how IO Interactive shows us different outcomes or possibilities in Hitman missions, so you know that you can go guns in a blazing or you can be stealthy. So this guy wants virgin chaste V for some reason. Wouldn't you think this guy, anyway, would want to be playing like a macho, manly character and not female V if he's so, like, hung up on this stuff? Why would he even want to play a woman? I don't understand what his viewpoint on this is other than all of the bad ones. It's very stupid. Dude spanking dudes. Hannah, there is nothing I fucking hate more is a hypocritical asshole. Either let's say I don't want to wear a mash, it's against my freedom, but if you also say those gays shouldn't get married, fuck you, pick your side and stick with it. Yeah, yeah. Instead, Cyberpunk 2077 demo talks a lot about choice, but we don't get to see any of it. We do, though. We see various dialogue choices, and I think they also run through a mission 2 different ways. One more hackery and stealthy, and one more straight-up run and gun. Now, granted, if the game is still 2 years out from release, one could be forgiving to CG Projekt Red about this sort of thing, but then I'm at the point of saying, why even show the gameplay demo and talk extensively about choice and options when you're not going to show us any choices or options? They literally do within the game demo. You're just lying. You can defend CG Projekt Red all you want, I don't care, but if you're going to talk extensively about choice and options, I would like to think you would actually highlight a few on display that actually highlights that point. Otherwise, why talking about it? This is why an editor's good. Didn't you just say highlight twice? I don't care. The sampling of choice. Oh, no, my bad. I just read it twice. My bad. That's not to mention the choice. That's not to mention that the choice the players are presented with seems superficial at best. After completing the main mission at the centerpiece of the demo, you're given a few dialogue options to address the corporate stooge and Dex, the ghetto pimp. Oh god, I don't like the characterization you gave him. He's certainly a pimp, but I think you just called him ghetto because he's a black guy. The option basically boiled down to saying very similar things in 2 different ways. No fucking way, or need to think about it. Though, no it's not. One is no, and one is need to think about it. They're a little bit different. Also, if you've ever played a video game ever, usually dialogue trees, they're trees, but they kind of go like this. They go out and branch, and then they come back in, because they can't account for, like, literally every choice you make. The options also see your character spouting off at the mouth with the absolutely insufferable and grating SJW-style sarcasm. Sarcasm is social justice warrior now. Did you know that Indiana Jones is a social justice warrior, and Han Solo is a social justice warrior, and everyone who uses sarcasm is a social justice warrior?
You have a shirt in your closet that says fluent and sarcasm.
Yeah, that's because I'm a dirty, dirty SJW. Tucker White 24, the more I see Billy screech about this game, the more I want to go and get it. I know, I'm very excited for this game, actually, so... I get that it's his brand, but why does he have to be angry about everything? It seems so draining. I know. The Golden Gate Bridge is now haunted. Hold on, let me click on that. Can someone explain me why this eerie sound has been going on for an hour? I can barely hear anything. They designed new sides for the sidewalk to help with wind resistance, but didn't take into account the extreme sound it creates. Yikes. That's a fuck up. Whew. That's gotta be annoying if that's your morning commute. The options also see your character spouting off at the mouth with absolutely insufferable and grating SJW-style sarcasm that is present in just about every single Western video game, a foul-mouthed, self-centered, sociopathic degenerate. Damn, dude, your Nazi is so poking out right now. With all the degenerate talk, yikers. And to top it all off, your character rounds out the demo, planning on getting wasted and insinuating more casual sex on the horizon. Again, it's a cyberpunk game. Some of you might say that this is all about character development, and that's fine. Yeah, it is fine, yet you made a whole fucking article about how you don't think it's fine. But then, they may as well leave choice and options at the door if you're essentially role-playing as a typical degenerate San Francisco millennial in 2077 California! Maybe this all changes in the full game, but the demo did not give a good impression of the character V at all. Typically, games like Wasteland, Fallout, or harebrained scheme Shadowrun refrained from imposing that kind of characterization on your protagonist. Have you played Fallout 4? Leaving them more as blank slates than anything to appeal to hedonistic, communistic liberals.
So if you have casual sex, you're a hedonistic communist liberal.
Yeah, apparently he wants a cyberpunk game where you lick boot and just suck corporations and cop dick. Actually, no, not literally, because that would be slutty, and he finds that to be degenerate. So you're a chaste, law-abiding citizen within this cyberpunk world, and you just enjoy the virtual boot upon your face. And that's the game. Fun. Oh god, this is the opposite of how protagonists in Fallout 4 was demonstrated during the 2016 E3 presentation, where the focus was more on an actual player choice and how players could define the role of their character based on their own decisions. Fallout 4 was terrible for that. It was a voiced protagonist, which was a first for a Bethesda game. Your player character had a defined marriage and child. They had a defined career. If you played the male character, they were a soldier. If you played the female character, they were an army lawyer. Like, that game was not about character choice. That game had you have a predefined past and character. Ow.
Oh, sorry.
It wasn't about pigeonholing the character into an archetype, but more so about trying to showcase as much variety as possible. That game absolutely pigeonholes you into a straight hetero cis relationship where you have a child. So it's literally what he's critiquing Cyberpunk for, but in reverse, but it's actually real as opposed to his dumb bullshit about Cyberpunk. And finally, regarding the character, V is a reprehensible sociopath. Every video game character that involves murdering waves of enemies is inherently going to be somewhat sociopathic. Like, every shooter game has sociopathic characters because they're murdering thousands of people over the course of your playthrough. Like, if you're going to say they're sociopaths for killing people, this character kills indiscriminately. What game do you want? Go play Animal Crossing if you don't want to play a game where you kill indiscriminately. Doesn't seem to have any moral compass and is like a typical criminal from Grand Theft Auto 5. Oh, do they also not like Grand Theft Auto 5? Jesus. I know this was only a 48-minute demo, but if the main story clocks in at around 10 or so hours, we're looking at a tenth of the game's story on display. No, I doubt it. And throughout the entire thing, other than retrieving the girl from the harvesting shop, V is depicted as an irredeemable reprobate. Yikers. What is wrong with this guy? Arenas 3, I'll be a hedonist, just don't call me a liberal. Yes, I am a leftist, goddammit. Don't group me in with those people. This guy hates fun, no kidding. Seriously, though, what does he not hate? I honestly don't know. A game where you get to play as a Nazi, probably, he's pretty down for. Everything wrong with Cyberpunk 2077's setting. We know that the game is set in Night City, California. It's expected that the game would be filled with all the cultural hallmarks that make California sometimes come across on paper like a third world country. California has the best economy in the country. What are you talking about? But at the same time, there's supposed to be this inviting nature to the construction of the city that makes the player want to explore. The problem with Cyberpunk 2077 is what we saw large parts of Night City, and none of it looked interesting. In fact, the entire setting is completely opposite of what they depicted in the original CGI debut trailer from back in 2012. The sleek vehicles, the sexy lines, the Blade Runner-esque atmosphere, the gothic high-rises with steamy pipes and overlay crosswalks, gone. The military-style police that were a cross between RoboCop and Blade Runner with their flying cruisers, gone. No, they're not. We saw not the cops, but we did see flying cars in the demo, and it looks kind of like this. We've only seen daytime footage, though, so it's kind of hard to compare one-to-one, eh? The cool, dark graphic novel-style art aesthetic that CD Projekt Red teased 6 years ago, gone. Are you confused because this is an illustration and not actual gameplay? Because this is drawn artwork. That's not how games look. Maybe you need to read a manga or something? I don't know. In the actual Cyberpunk 2077 demo, the architecture was cluttered and sky-reaching, and there were a lot of NPCs walking around, but none of it felt cyberpunky. Yes, it did? What are you talking about? It felt like the sterilized corporate envisioning of what a very markedly safe depiction of cyberpunk would be. Cyberpunk is kind of about corporate visions of the future. That's a major theme of cyberpunk. You idiot. Heck, even Blooper Team's Observer managed to get a capture the feel and mood of gritty cyberpunk environment much more than CD Projekt Red's E3 gameplay demonstration. Now, some people have tried defending this demo, claiming that since it's during the day, it doesn't properly capture the cyberpunk aesthetic. To that, I say bullcrap. Okay, why? Because that's a very legitimate criticism of what you're saying right now. The guy's just upset there aren't leaning into 40-year-old cyberpunk tropes, yeah. You're forced to play Franklin in GTA 5. Of course he hates it. Yeah. I bet you he thinks Wolfenstein is too anti-Nazi. Yeah. I bet he'd be like, why can't you play as the Nazis? Thank you, 123 Gator, for following. They should have set the demo at night then. The demo they're going to do at their press event on the 25th probably will be at night, if I had to guess. It's probably what they're saving for last, because it's going to be a moment where you look at it and you go, oh, this looks like a great game. Which I frankly got from the first demo anyway, but whatever. People looking for a thorough cyberpunk experience are expecting a certain kind of tonal aesthetic. Tall buildings, lots of rain, flying cars, bright lights, skyscraper billboards, and lots of obliquely shaped structures canvassing the skyline, almost like Blade Runner. Yep, which is what Cyberpunk 2077 looks like. But it's an open-world role-playing game. So, as you might know, on planet Earth we have this thing called daytime, and half the game is going to take place during it, because that's how the world works. What we see in Cyberpunk 2077 looks more like a stilted, bright, cluttered, multi-layered depiction of the city from Anarchonox, never heard of it, than a typical cyberpunk city. That's not a knock against Anarchonox, by the way. It's a knock against the visual motif of 2077. I've never heard of this game. Then again, even Anarchonox seemed to capture more of the Blade Runner aesthetic than Cyberpunk 2077, which is a real shame. Someone in a YouTube comment section described Night City from the demo as being like a modded version of GTA 5. Jesus Christ. Can we look at this real quick? Images. Okay, let's look at some cyberpunk stuff. So here, V is on a subway, looks very cyberpunk. You see the people in the background, very cyberpunk outfits. You have the cops being incredibly militarized. Here we have Keanu Reeves, who is in cyberpunk as Johnny Silverhand, hacker/rocker. Here's a picture of V in front of a hotel. Here's one of V's friends, and look, you can see in the background this sort of haphazard wiring strewn about with the tall building, the large, like, tenement apartment blocks almost. That's very cyberpunk. Here's another image. It's at daytime, but you see the very bright neon cyberpunk city behind him. Another one, you can see, of course, all the, like, neon holographic displays. This looks like it could just be out of a Blade Runner thing. It's just daytime. It's just daytime. You're looking for really dumb stuff to nitpick because you think it's SJW, whatever the fuck that even means these days. It's such a childish, weird viewpoint. I don't understand how people like this think. I'm really excited for this game, though. The problem is that clutter doesn't make a lot of sense, and the architecture doesn't really depict the cold, brutalist nature of the corporate high-rise that are juxtaposed with the consumer inviting ads and holograms sprinkled throughout the city, sort of like Blade Runner. And Night City looks just like this. I don't know what you're talking about. Sushi Mom 10, cops are starting to use LRAD auditory devices, bring hearing protection to protests. Yeah, bring earplugs, people. Be safe. Yikers. There was a fascinating dichotomy between the impersonal corporate nature of the fog-kissed towers with the bright flashing lights that beckoned for your attention and patronage. None of this is present in the 48-minute Cyberpunk 2077 demo, which is a real shame because it makes me wonder how you can showcase nearly an hour's worth of footage, yet not showcase any of the classical architecture elements that make Cyberpunk Cyberpunk. We did get something close to what they were used to from the fiction with the alleyway scene outside of a sex club. Yeah, this also looks cyberpunk like everything else in the game. Does he just want naked women in every frame, and he happens to see a partially naked woman over there on the left, and he thinks to himself, oh, I don't know why I like this image, but I like this one, and it's because there's like a woman in short shorts?
Yes.
It really comes off as that to me, that he doesn't understand he's just an eternally horny incel, and like that's what he's looking for in every single frame. Let's see. Even still, this looks more like an amateur hour of an artist's depiction of cyberpunk rather than the nitty-gritty alleyways filled with steam-leaking coils sprung throughout the leaky-piped run-down dives and wetware shops selling illegal goods behind the counter. The steam and stuff, that's going to be an issue that either A, will be fixed by the time of release because particle effects are, like, difficult to do, or B, probably won't come until the next-gen versions because I don't know if the RAM and, like, the limitations of the current generation of hardware can handle, like, particle effects on the level of, like, Steam and stuff, while also doing all this simulation stuff with all the characters walking around. Well, it's still in development. It literally is. The ambience is all wrong. There's no fog littering the streets. There's no acid rain. There's no flooding. Yeah, they show daytime footage with sunny day. It's going to have weather systems. They've said this. There are weather systems in the game. It doesn't rain 24 hours a day, and it would get very boring if the game had it be night and raining all the time. No filthy streets, no rundown buildings. Apparently we watched different demos. Look at the shot from when the player is driving in the car. The city almost looks like a modern downtown metropolis more than it does a future megatropolis half a century away. Heck, it looks like a shot from Sleeping Dogs, and that's not a knock against Sleeping Dogs. It's indicative of how creatively sparse the futuristic design of Cyberpunk City is. No? I disagree. This is literally an alleyway with some restaurants, so that's not really a good... Like, look, there's trash. There's trash over here. There's a huge city up here that has all kinds of different neon signs. Let's see, is there anything else I want to bitch about for this guy's stupid takes? I don't know. Let's see what he has to say about this, because I jumped on the other article off of this one. From the recent diversity character department and diversity group implementation to all the degeneracy placed throughout the latest videos were warnings of this product tap dancing to the beat of the social justice cabal music. I wish there was a social justice cabal. That'd be nice. With that said, much like Sony, CD Projekt Red will delay the digital event that isn't even held in a physical space for audience members to attend due to more important discussions happening right now related to Black Lives Matter. You can read the tweet in question here. Here's the thing that this guy apparently doesn't understand either. Like, yeah, if corporations are going to pay lip service to Black Lives Matter, great. I'd rather they do it than not. But the reason Cyberpunk and PlayStation moved their things is mainly because they want to do that on a slow news day. They want articles and websites to be like, oh, PlayStation 5 revealed. Oh, Cyberpunk 2077 demo unveiled today. If they release that stuff in the middle of all this shit, all that's going to happen is it's going to get buried under important articles about protests and cop violence. It's a very corporate, cynical way of going about things. But, again, at least they're acknowledging the whole Black Lives Matter thing, which is great. If you can't read or see the above tweet, a written version... Oh, yeah, sure. As mentioned above, the upcoming Night City Wire digital event has been pushed from the 11th to the 25th due to the current year agenda. You mean black people being murdered by the police? Yup. Fucking idiot. Lastly, the actual game itself will release worldwide on September 17th, which I am very excited for. Thank you, Vayek Avi, for following. Let's see what else he's got. Because this guy pisses me off. Wow, I've spent 2 hours already talking about this guy? Jesus. Capitalist apologist does not understand capitalism. Wouldn't be the first time. Let's take a... What's this guy's cloning thing about?
About those,
Ooh,
reptilian...
I cannot listen to that. That's awful. Yeah, let's read this one about the PlayStation 5 event being postponed. What? Something in the...
Xandros.
Wow, he had to have been recording on a literal potato. Yeah.
That's true. You did talk about Garfield Eats.
I did talk about Garfield Eats, I suppose. So, as I said, PlayStation put out this that said, we have decided to postpone the PlayStation 5 event scheduled for the 4th. While we understand gamers worldwide are excited to see PS5 games, we do feel that right now is a time for celebration, and for now we want to stand back and allow more important voices to be heard. Basically, hey, there's a bunch of protests going on. We're gonna do the event at a later date. Sony is going all out this season, as reported before on OAG. Sony and many others have tweeted out support for Black Lives Matter and have been added to the ever-growing Traitors of America master list, which is, of course, the list I showed all of you at the beginning of the stream, which is hilarious. This guy takes this incredibly seriously, by the way. And it looks like the blue brand is going through with canceling the PlayStation 5 Future of Gaming event. They didn't cancel it, they moved it. Event due to its riot-enabling agenda. In other words, the June 4th event won't happen so that more important voices can be heard. Yep. Originally, we reported that Sony would go live with its Future of Gaming event via Twitch and YouTube on the 4th at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9 p.m. whatever BST is, I have no idea, and 10 p.m. Central Standard Time. The digital showcase in question was supposed to run around an hour in length, but that won't happen on said date and time due to the info laid out in the introductory paragraph. It's also worth noting that after this week's showcase, Sony will likely cancel the Much to Share With You event surrounding the PlayStation 5. Again, it's not canceled, they've moved it to later in the month. Despite all the trouble Sony went to make the PS5 event reach professional perfection, as per PushSquare.com, the company threw it all away to score some current year points. You understand that they're still going to hold the event, right? Like, it even said it in here. They're clearly going to do the event later in the month. They've said they're going to announce a date soon, but they're going to wait to announce the date until, again, the news cycle is sort of turned over a bit from what's going on right now. Dude Spanking Dude says, Hannah Reloaded, I just want to say that guy got me so fucking heated. I took like paragraphs long rants and someone had to show me some funny shit to calm me down. Yeah, this guy's awful. Britt Mersank says, traitor to America, but Sony isn't even a U.S. company. This guy's an idiot. Yeah, on his list he said, like, not all these companies are American, but the people who consume it are American, therefore they're traitors to America. It's a stretch, to say the least. Basically, Sony values certain lives and agendas more than others so that the company can align with groups that enable rioting, looting, criminal behavior, assault, theft, and murder, which the last instance is no stranger to the crowd of SJWs. This means you will not be able to catch Sony's upcoming PS5 game event on the 4th, since the company wants more important voices to be heard. Yep. Do we dare go into the comments? The comments are going to be so bad.
Look at one comment.
So normal people do peaceful protests against lockdown, and they are mocked and Orange Man batted,
Right,
while morons do violent riot and looting, and they're applauded. People are... Have you not seen the deluge of articles about peaceful protesters, dude? What are you talking about? Thank you for following this simulacra. All right, let's take a look at his get woke, get censored list. Get what go broke master list, Steam waifu ban game list, SJW sexual misconduct list. Claiming Agents of Mayhem got woke and went broke is hilarious because that game just sucked. But the recent Saints Row 3 remastered, I mean, I think people bought it. I don't know. Dishonored franchise got woke and went broke. Those games are good. Mass Effect Andromeda got woke and went broke. That was because the game fucking sucked relative to the other games. Telltale Games got woke, went broke. They went broke because of their horrible management. Aren't you supposed to be a games journalist, you idiot? What are you talking about? Birds of Prey got woke and went broke. Yeah, that's because it's part of a dying DCEU. Cats got woke and went broke. Yes, I'm sure because Cats is woke somehow. It's fucking Cats. I don't even know what that would mean. That's what was the issue with Cats. Gross. This guy is frustrating, to say the least. We'll probably move on to something else soon, by the way. Japan wants to expand cyberbullying laws in wake of Hana Kitamura's death. I'm not familiar. Aww. Doesn't work at all for some reason. Michigan governor threatens quarantine extension to punish protesters. Absolutely not. That is not why the quarantine was extended, you moron. Oh, God. Why are all these articles gone? Did he take his website down or something? No, because this one's working. That's strange. I wonder why specific ones aren't working. Twitch immediately implements new trust and safety council that immediately goes full racist and sexist. I'm gonna press X to doubt on that one. Silicon Valley is undeniably a cesspool of regressive anti-consumerism. Calling Silicon Valley, where the iPhone was fucking invented, anti-consumerism is hilarious. Yes, Apple, Uber, Google, Twitter, clearly all anti-consumerism. Jesus Christ, how delusional do you have to be? Sprinkled with a heaping helping of overt racism and sexism. Nothing codifies that image more perfectly than Twitch. Aww. Is this guy banned from Twitch or something? Because I feel like he's butthurt about it. The poor man's OnlyFans has consistently grabbed headlines for discrimination, exploitation, poor moderation, or just being woke as humanly possible. Then the company acts surprised when Microsoft, who at this point has mastered the art of at least I'm not them, poached a slew of their top talent. Twitch attempted to downplay the impact of the loss of several prominent streamers, had on the performance of their platform, reported by It's a Gundam, until it became undeniable as reports showed Twitch experienced a 9.8% decline in hours streamed from Q3 to Q4 2019. Twitch has a plan to staunch the declining viewership and expand its community, once again failing to understand the total addressable market has or likely has been reached in streaming marketing. Rather than address or tackle any of the concerns that have fueled a decline in both viewership and talent retention, Twitch has opted to create their own Trust and Safety Council to keep their community safe and healthy. Yep, that's probably a good thing. Let me see what the chat is saying. Silicon Valley is the most consumerist? No kidding. Twitch is far from dying. Yeah, I think it's pretty fucking popular. Looking at any company from one quarter to another, and specifically trying to look at any trends is going to be problematic, specifically because you're only getting a snapshot, and that's not super helpful. You need to look at many quarters to try and look at general trends. In reality, what Twitch wants is a scapegoat that corporate can point to rather than having attention levied at them, insinuating executives from insulating executives from consequences from Amazon as a result of poor administrative practices, moderation implementation, and double standard policies. Officially, this new panel of individuals will be responsible for drafting moderation proposals and ensuring the rules are enforced equally across the site. Their official duties are as follows. The Safety Council will inform and guide decisions made at Twitch by contributing their experience, expertise, and belief in Twitch's mission of empowering communities to create together. The council will advise on a number of topics, including drafting new policies and policy updates, developing products and features to improve safety and moderation, promoting healthy streaming and work-life balance habits, protecting the interests of marginalized groups, and identifying emerging trends that could impact the Twitch experience. This is the kind of thing I wish YouTube had, because YouTube is an awful platform that stays completely divorced from the people who work on their platform. They seemingly don't get any input from actual YouTubers when they make changes to YouTube, and it's always a fucking mess when they roll out changes. Every single time. I think Amazon has a lot more to worry about than Twitch right now. No kidding. Didn't their warehouse in LA just burn down like the other day? Commenting to Newsweek, Case and P, one of the members of the council, confirmed its existence as a public relations stunt to address Twitch's ongoing image problem. Twitch expects its users to uphold standards and practices, and as users on the platform, we expect the same from Twitch as well. The guidelines put in place mean nothing if the rules are not enforced. In turn, when the rules are enforced, it should be clear and concise, not sporadic and selective. You just put words in this individual's mouth. That's not what they said. They just said, hey, we're going to do our best to uphold standards and practices, but the rules have to be enforced evenly. Somehow you take this as it's a public relations stunt. At no point in this quote is that implied. Problems with that statement arose almost immediately when transgender activist and council member Steph Lohr described plans, that's a weird sentence, get an editor, to implement blatantly racist and sexist policies aimed at addressing imagined disparities between everyone else and white males. You know, it's oddly funny that the left says Nazism was wrong. Oh, God. It's oddly funny that the left says Nazism was wrong. Nazism is wrong. Everyone should say that unless you're a fucking Nazi. but at every step claims white males are so superior to everyone else. You understand that pointing out the fact that white cis men have more say in society is not the same as saying they are superior. You understand that, right? It's pointing out an incongruity, not saying that they're there because of merit. You fucking idiot. Addressing the backlash from being an outright bigot, sure. Laura immediately began portraying those that were against her as sexist and racist policies are harassers. I'm getting harassed because I represent a lot of things people hate about diversity and acceptance. I am different, and Twitch has platformed me. People believe me to be mentally ill for being different. People believe I am a threat to their video game mechanics. People also don't like me for my pride, and they don't like that they have so little power over me. That sounds like a reasonable statement coming from a trans person. From a person. Being one myself, that seems reasonable. Nobj, I will gift 5 subs if this article doesn't contain transphobia. Well, that's not gonna happen. I guarantee there is in the next paragraph, probably. Yep. Oh, it's the next word!
Yeah. Why does he switch from using pronouns that I'm assuming are correct to then being...
Wait, no, Steph, is that... Let me look.
That could be... That's a unisex name.
Oh, no. Steph Lore looks like they're presenting as female. So they're definitely misgendering her, which is fucked.
But they started with gendering her correctly and then switched.
Maybe halfway through they had to correct themselves to be incorrect just to be an asshole.
Literally right after... Look. Go scroll down. Look. Correct pronouns, incorrect pronouns.
Jesus Christ. What a piece of shit. I'm going to use the correct pronouns, but be aware that they are not using the correct pronouns. She's not wrong. She represents the interjection of intersectionality and the hijacking of entertainment platforms to be used as political soapboxes by horrible people. Horrible people, as in trans people? That's pretty fucked up to say. People who will silence others for disagreeing with them by utilizing a marginalized group as a blunt instrument to push policy, political, and cultural changes. Your disagreement is that they shouldn't exist. That's not a disagreement. That's aggression. That's fucking violence. What are you talking about? Never mind, it is near universally the left that has impoverished or marginalized said community in the first place. That's a yikes. Gonna need a source on that one. Twitch naturally agreed their customers and audience were bigoted harassers that were targeting one of their appointees. Well, a lot of them are gamers, so... I play video games, but have you met a group of gamers randomly online in a lobby? Holy shit. A lot of them are 12 and use the N-word a lot. It's unfortunate to see a member of the advisory council targeted for harassment. The safety of our council members is our top priority, and we've taken preventative measures to help ensure their safety and well-being. We are in close communication with each of the members and are working diligently to provide them with whatever support they may need. Rather than merely laughing at Twitch's continued assassination of their own public image, there is a simple solution to these problems. No, not the Piaget model.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Oh, Nobj, thanks for gifting 5 subs, even though there was transphobia. Much appreciated.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Piaget. I gotta look up what the Piaget model is.
There's nothing
Augusto Jose Ramon Piaget Ugarte? Either one. Was a Chilean general and politician who ruled as a dictator of Chile.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Piaget and his government have been characterized as fascists. So basically, they're calling Twitter fascists for having an advisory council made up of people who are on the site. Yikerinos! Every single time someone calls out gamers for being shitty, they immediately proceed to prove them right, you know? Here's the thing, I don't think most people who play video games are shitty, because they're not. I play video games, Baja plays video games, Baja's friends play video games, my friends play video games. Like, 67% of adult people play video games. I think I looked up the statistics like a month ago for something. But the vocal ones, the people who, like, talk about, I'm a gamer, I'm gonna, whatever. People who tend to self-ascribe the label of, I'm a gamer, and make it an identity, they're assholes, and it's very strange. Rather than merely laughing at Twitch's continued assassination of their own public image, there was a simple solution to these problems. No, not the Piaget model, but straight out of Rules for Radicals. Rather than attempt to paint Twitch or Amazon as blatantly sexist and racist, you put the attention of these actions and behaviors onto Jeff Bezos. If he is financing it, he's endorsing it. Oligarchs are near universally obsessed with their public image. Disagree, because if they were, they wouldn't be oligarchs. From it, they derive power through public legitimacy. They don't want you to realize that most of them are either born into money or raised into money through proper or improper connections, that they are no more special than you are. On the personal side, they just want to believe they're better than everyone else, and it destroys their ego when they are publicly hated and chastised for their actions. So you're right about billionaires, but for some reason you're on the right, which is very strange. Imagine hating women and LGBT plus people so much, you are on the side of the billionaires just to own people that you don't like. So ridiculous. Big Titty Meg says a guy in Toronto was arrested for going to a Black Lives Matter protest wearing blackface. Oh, yikerinos. What the fuck?
Oh no.
Yeah, don't wear blackface. That's not cool. Becoming a Nazi to own the libs. What?
I'm just reacting to the blackface.
Yeah.
It's probably because they saw Justin Trudeau did it years and years and years ago.
Subscribestar bans Richard Spencer and Radix Journal. Good. Richard Spencer is a, and I mean this literally, is a Nazi. He is a Nazi who had leaked audio. I believe Milo Yiannopoulos actually leaked the audio because Milo's mad that no one wants to deal with him anymore and promote his weird right-wing bullshit. Where Richard Spencer was literally screaming about how, as a white man, he should rule everyone. And he called people some, like, really offensive slurs. Like, no, straight up Nazi. Richard Spencer's a piece of shit. And he should not only be banned from every platform, but frankly, banned from Minecraft altogether, if you know what I'm saying. Anyway. It was always a matter of time before Subscribestar, I'm not even sure what Subscribestar is, succumbed to pressure groups to put ideology ahead of freedom of speech. Nearly every new payment platform, with the exception of New Project 2, seems to be putting the concerns of the politically correct ahead of the freedom of people. Freedom of speech does not mean companies can't ban you from their platforms, whether it be something like Twitter that's a social media, or something like PayPal or Subscribestar or Patreon. That's their platform. It's privately owned. In fact, if you forced them to platform people, it would be a violation of their free speech and freedom of association. They don't have to platform people who are repugnant. The government can't stop you because that's what freedom of speech means. That's about it. It's basically Patreon. Okay, gotcha. What am I talking about? I'm talking about Subscribestar banning Richard Spencer from their platform after social justice warriors. Jesus Christ, Richard Spencer's a literal fucking Nazi. What are you talking about? Complained about him having an account on their platform. The news was spotted by Communism Kills, who screen capped the gist of the story in a tweet. You want to be able to give your money to support whoever you want? Sorry, we can't have that in our free country. We'll just follow you platform from platform to start social media campaigns to make sure no one can ever give you money ever again except by check. Yes. If they're a Nazi, absolutely. Thank you, Frennick31, for 1312. Banned from Minecraft altogether is a phrase I'm going to start using more often. How dare you use capitalism against Nazis? Oh, God. Whoops. Get some water for my dry throat. Oh. The first screen comes from a Truth Out article, which is basically a hit piece against Subscribestar for promoting what they called the alt-right. Yeah, Richard Spencer is alt-right, aka a Nazi, which is basically anyone who isn't pro-communist, pro-censorship, or pro-degenerate. No, it's alt-right people are like ethno-nationalist sacks of shit. It's pretty clear, right? In the article, they explain, I'm not going to read this whole thing. After catching the attention of Subscribestar and painting the company in a negative light, Subscribestar responded by axing Spencer's account and shuttering any affiliated accounts with Spencer. This included his main Subscribestar account and the RadioX Journal account. I'm reading this real quick. If you attempt to visit his Subscribestar account, it will give you the following message. Richard Spencer's profile didn't pass the review process. Please be aware, due to an extremely high volume of recently submitted profiles, it's possible that the profile was rejected by mistake. If you feel this is the case, please contact us. In an update to the original Truth Out piece, it's explained that Subscribestar contacted them and notified them that Spencer's account had been terminated. On May 12th, the day after the article was published, Subscribestar announced that it has suspended the RadioX Journal Subscribestar account that Richard Spencer was trying to use for subscription donations. Subscribestar said in a statement to Truth Out that its screening team had initially failed to discover any connection between the previously rejected account of Mr. Spencer and the new RadioX Journal account he was trying to establish more recently. The Subscribestar statement also said that the company had reviewed the content published by RadioX on its website to the date and didn't find anything to violate our terms of service. Essentially, people like Richard Spencer can't even be funded by people who want to fund him, even when he isn't violating his rules. That's completely untrue. If Richard Spencer wants to open a P.O. box where people can send him checks, or if he wants to open a bank account and give people the routing number to directly wire him money, they can do that. The bank might be like, I don't want an account with a fucking Nazi, but I doubt it because banks don't give a fuck. People can give Richard Spencer money. I'm sure people do give Richard Spencer money. Companies aren't obligated to allow him to get money on their site, though. They just aren't. They aren't. It's pretty simple. Sushi Mom 10, J.K. Rowling being a transphobic shit has taken over my timeline. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure. Hold on, let me pull up my Twitter real quick to see if anyone retweeted my tweet. Country roads take me home to the place I belong. Okay. Worse yet is that even associated networks or content facilitators such as RadioX Journal are now off the table for receiving funds as well. So basically, it's deplatforming by association. Yeah, if you associate with a literal Nazi. Yep. The YouTube channel barely boasts 1,300 subscribers as of the writing of this article, yet for leftists, even its existence is too much for them to bear. Yes, the existence of Nazis is too much to bear. They should be struck down. Their ideology should be struck down literally every time it crops up. We fought a whole world war over this. I thought we had this settled quite a while ago, guys. Centrists will defend this kind of censorship, claiming that free speech doesn't mean freedom of consequences. Yeah, literally this. Literally this. Literally this, though. Unironically. Literally. My throat is so dry from talking constantly for 2.5 hours. Which basically means they don't support free speech at all, but rather controlled speech. If you can't say what you want without losing your livelihood, then it's not free speech at all. It is, though, because free speech is the fact that the government cannot legally stop you from doing speech. You could go out into the public square and talk about your shitty Nazi speech. It's shitty, and people might punch you in the fucking face because you're a Nazi, but you're legally allowed to do it. It's just part of it. But platforms are not obligated to platform you. And if you go out and you spout some racist, ethno-nationalist bullshit, people will probably milkshake you or punch you in the face or whatever, and those are the consequences of your actions. It just is. You don't get to go outside and say things like, you know, just all these brown people in this country, I just don't like them. Maybe if we could do something with them, move them out, whatever. No. No. You're allowed to say it in the public square, but there will be consequences for those actions. Your employer might not want to employ you anymore. Platforms won't want to platform you. It's pretty simple. Freedom of association is a thing. You cannot force people. You have freedom of speech, okay? You can say what you want in public, in private, as long as it is your own private property. You cannot force people to listen to your speech. That is what you are advocating for. You're advocating that, hey, I have a megaphone, and I'm going to force you to listen to what I have to say, even if you don't want to hear it. That's not how it works. You can't do that. Many of them still won't understand that they're ushering in the authoritarian dystopia that compromises many nightmare scenarios featured in cyberpunk fiction of the future. Basically, this confirms the fears many had when the subscribe star came down on turd-flinging monkey. I have no idea who that is. In that particular scenario, some offended users sent complaints to Subscribestar, and Subscribestar wanted turd-flinging monkey to address the complaints of people who were offended at some of the language he used in some BitChute videos. Let me guess, he used some racial slurs? Did he have a heated gamer moment? Idiots. Well, the situation was eventually cleaned up. It left a bad taste in the mouths of people who saw the writing on the wall. Subscribestar was on the brink of being converged. One look at their terms of service page, and it reads like a lot of typical left-wing operating sites, especially if you scroll down to the prohibited content section where it reads, any posts, comments, narrations, news, or discussion materials that include in any shape or form hatred toward a social group or ethnic group, calls for violence or oppression. What's up? Oof. Yikerinos. She's showing me the video of the guy in blackface. Where is this? Toronto? What an idiot. I just want to see him get arrested. Where's the arrested part? Hold on.
It's coming. Let's see.
I wonder what the actual charge is they're arresting him for. Drakewing, it's okay, everyone. In Harry Potter is trans now. Who cares what some shriveled old turf has to say about Hatsune Miku's beloved book series? Is that the link that Big Titty Meg sent?
Yes.
Okay. Virkanon. An MRA racial slurs abound, believes in repealing the 19th Amendment. Oh, yeah. That'll do it. I assume you're talking about turd flinging whatever the guy's name was. Hatred of any social or ethnic group calls for violence or oppression, racial or gender defamation, and or target a person or group by disability, nationality, race, religion, sexual orientation, or skin color will not be published on our platform. Such materials upon discovery will be removed from the platform and the profile account will be suspended with possible termination. Creating, promoting, and supporting a star profile account for the sole purpose of portraying a single person, group, or organization in a negative way, degrading their existent or imaginable values, or diminishing their presence, ideas, belief, appearances, expression, and or actions in any way is strictly forbidden on the platform. Every single social media platform on the planet just about will have this at this point, because no platform in a capitalist society wants to be associated with bigots. Just putting that out there. It seems pretty simple to me. I'm sure some people may run to their defense and say, they're only expunging the alt-right. But with Milo gone, Milo was also alt-right, Richard Spencer suspended, and Radix Journal banned, it's only a matter of time before other politically incorrect pundits get targeted for using language some interpret as alt-right adjacent and manage to get deplatformed. That's not an if scenario, it's a when scenario. It started with the so-called alt-right and escalates to bans, suspensions, and terminations from there. We've already seen it happen with Patreon, and it will soon happen with Subscribestar. It's become a technological inevitability in today's censorship-happy society. They came for the Nazis, and I said nothing. And then they didn't come for anyone else because Nazis are honestly just the worst, and it's fine to deplatform them. Dude Spanking Dude says, wait a fucking minute, I think I remember Turd Flinging Monkey go on about Bowsette when she was a thing, and how Bowser is a woman since she has Bowser Jr., and now how Bowsette is much more feminine version. It's some weird shit. Yikes. Conference call confirms Disney Plus is a disaster. Let's take a look at that. I very much doubt it. I imagine just about every family with kids and an internet connection in this country has Disney Plus at this point. It's like $5.99 a month. It's a good deal. Content streaming, or direct-to-consumer as the industry has taken to calling it, by outward appearances, has been nothing more than a mad dash to scoop up whatever part of the market Netflix doesn't dominate. Though that may be partially the case, the real driving mechanism for the plunge into streaming lies in the decline of the legacy television platforms. Well, they feed into each other. Streaming has picked up, which allows people to do things like cut the cord in terms of cable, and cable's awful, and ads are awful, and I don't know how anyone sits through them anymore. They're so awful. Even on YouTube, I pay for YouTube Premium so I don't have to sit through ads. They're so ridiculous. Television and other legacy platforms still afford the entertainment giants a significant revenue generation. Each year, the amount that revenue generation declines, at the same time revenue generation for streaming continues to uptick, leading many executives to the conclusion that streaming is the medium that is displacing television. Streaming and other platforms like YouTube, which you could argue is a form of streaming, but it's more like independent media. It's a little bit different. Twitch, same thing. Companies realize the future is streaming, but their methods are to attempt to be a full satellite package rather than hosting successful channels. The economics of the models are not going to conclude well for any of the companies, that the cost of content generation will always outpace consumer income. Disagree? I'd still argue, even with multiple streaming services right now, it's still a better deal than cable was. Cable could be, my dad paid, I think, like hundreds of dollars a month for the DirecTV we had, and it was shit. And a lot of it was because he paid for sports stuff. So even in these days, when there's like multiple streaming services, it's still cheaper, and it's more a la carte. You can say, this streaming service has more shows I like, more originals, more content, whatever. So like right now, I think I subscribe to Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, Amazon Prime, because I already have Amazon Prime for the free shipping, and HBO Max. That's decent. So I'm paying, I don't know, maybe $50, $60 a month, but that's still cheaper than a cable package, and I have access to more and better content than ever before. So overall, I think the streaming stuff is good for consumers, more or less. Unless they adopt the Hulu model, which essentially copies the cable television model of buying channel blocks, none of them are going to see a very vibrant future ahead of them. Disney owns tons of shit. Hulu is owned by Disney. Until about 3.5 hours, so probably 45 minutes to an hour, something like that. Failing to question the economic viability of copying Netflix, Bob Iger positioned Disney for the future with the introduction of Disney Plus last year. Despite scarce content, Iger continued to boast 50 million subscribers adoption rate, projecting the image of success on the project. Disney owns all the Disney content, they own the Marvel content, they own the Star Wars content, even if you don't like the newer movies. They have the Mandalorian, which is fucking great, and they have the other TV shows that have come out, like the Clone Wars and Rebels and stuff like that. They own National Geographic stuff. They own the Fox catalog at this point. Disney has plenty of content. Disney Plus has a lot of shit on it. Even if it's not stuff you like, it's more for people who either A, have kids, or B, are like me and like stuff that's made for kids a lot. Cartoons from like your youth or Marvel stuff. Let's see in articles. Disney Plus. I'm trying to see specifically if I can find an article on how Disney Plus is doing economically. I butchered that. Disney Plus racks up 28 million subscribers. This is from February. This is the earliest article I can, or the latest article I can find. Because I think that was around when, a little after fourth quarter results came in, so they're probably talking about it here. Disney reported mixed quarterly results on Tuesday, with per-share profits declining by 17% and revenue climbing by 36%. Costs associated with building its Disney Plus streaming service occupied much of the gap, but investors and Disney's Hollywood competitors were interested in only one number: Disney Plus subscribers. There were 28.6 million as of Monday, the company said, an astounding number for a service that is less than 3 months old. Robert Iger, Disney's chief executive, told analysts on a conference call that the response to Disney Plus had exceeded even our greatest expectations. Disney unveiled its flagship streaming platform on November 12th amid a thundering marketing campaign and found immediate success with The Mandalorian, which, again, if you haven't seen The Mandalorian, please check it out if you're a Star Wars fan. It's legit some of the best Star Wars media that's come out in quite a while. I even like The Last Jedi, so don't, whatever. Take this with a grain of salt if you don't like The Last Jedi, I guess. But I fucking love The Mandalorian. It's great. Baby Yoda. Within a day of its introduction, Disney Plus had 10 million subscribers, including an unspecified number of accounts for customers who signed up for free under a promotion with Verizon, blowing past analyst estimates. Disney Plus costs $7 a month for those paying the sticker price, which I think is a good price for a streaming service, especially one that comes with, all the Star Wars movies, many of the Marvel movies. Some of them are still tied up in deals with other companies. Some of them are on Netflix, some of them are on, the Starz streaming service, but I assume once those contracts are up, they'll be pulled back to Disney Plus. Oh, thank you, Shadow Tamer. That's nice of you to say. Drake Wing says, The Last Jedi was the best Star Wars movie. Don't at me. I love The Last Jedi. So, within a day of its introduction, read that. Average monthly revenue per paid subscriber in this quarter was $5.56. That's pretty good. Streaming makes you buco bucks as long as you can afford the server costs. It's pretty good. It's cheaper to get to people than physical media. Really high margins. Mr. Iger said popular offerings included the 2016 musical Moana. Moana's
That's
great,
right,
too.
capitalistic propaganda.
Let me tell you one time. One time, I ate mushrooms and had a real bad trip while watching Moana. Not a fun time, but it was a good movie. Micah Shines, thank you for following. And old episodes of Hannah Montana. And The Simpsons, of course, The Mandalorian, which Mr. Iger said would return for a second season in October. Oh, October already, damn. Fuck yeah, I'm excited for Season 2 of The Mandalorian. It's often challenging for a company to pivot in a new strategic direction, particularly when it involves navigating between established and emerging business models. Okay, I don't need to read this whole article. Basically, they're already ahead of projections on terms of subscribers, and streaming services make a lot of money, so Disney's doing fine. This entire article that the angry gamer, whatever the fuck his name is going to be bullshit because he thinks Disney is an SJW company or something. Because they put black people and women in their movies. Ooh, idiot. Yeah, Disney had literally been hyping up Disney Plus for a year before launch. Yep. Now, the numbers are in, as is the answer to everyone's most important question, how many people are paying subscribers and how many are free users. So if at first with free stuff they had 50 million and they wound up with a little over 30 million, that's a pretty good adoption rate in terms of people who stuck with the service. That's pretty good. It's a lot better than Quibi, that's for sure. Quibi, sorry. Now the numbers are in, as is the answer to everyone's most important question. How many people are paying subscribers and how many are free users? During their latest conference call, Christine M. McCarthy, Disney's Senior Executive Vice President and Chief Financial Officer, delivered the actual performance metrics as transcribed by The Motley Fool. So we announced on April 8th during the third quarter we exceeded 15 million Disney Plus paid subscribers. As of May 4th, we estimated we had approximately 54.5 million Disney Plus subscribers, reflecting a subscriber mix generally similar to our mix at April 8th. Disney Plus launched in a number of European markets during the quarter, which contributed to a total paid subscriber base of 33.5 million at the end of the quarter. Of the 54 million subscribers, only 15 million are actively paying for Disney Plus, meaning 39.5 million are not. If that doesn't sound profitable to you, then that would be because it isn't. It's costing the company billions per quarter. Yeah, they've said they're gonna be profitable with Disney Plus. If you watch the actual... Apparently, you didn't watch the investor meeting, which I did, and I didn't even write a fucking article on it, so kind of makes you look like an idiot, doesn't it? During the big conference they held before Disney Plus, it was their investor conference, basically, where they're talking to people who own Disney stock. They said they're not going to be profitable on Disney Plus for 2 years. That's reasonable. For a company as big as Disney, investing money into a project like Disney Plus and putting that much money into original shows and content procurement is an investment that they plan to make a profit on in the future. This is how businesses work, you dummy. Do you not understand how investments work? It's not like a slot machine where you put a quarter in and a bunch of money comes out immediately. You need time to gain an audience and to continue to grow your brand. Jesus. Is this guy fucking 12 years old? Do you think that AVGN could win a lawsuit against OAG? Doubt. Very much doubt. profitable in 2 years going up against Netflix, Hulu, and more. That sounds very viable. Yeah, and Disney also owns Hulu, so they're competing against themselves, basically. Despite the company now effectively operating off debt, a lot of companies do this. A lot of companies do this. If you disagree with that, that's fine. But acting like this is a thing that only Disney is doing is ridiculous. Tesla has never made a profit in a yearly basis. Ever. And they've been operating for like 16, 17 years. Disney is usually profitable. They're in a loss right now because they're investing in stuff like the streaming service. That money will come back to them. They're fucking Disney. They're the empire. You know what I'm saying? Developing shows that further dilute the value of Star Wars brand. Apparently this guy has not seen The Mandalorian because it's fucking great. While censoring shows on Disney Plus is flat out insane. That is funny. If you saw the splash scene where they censored it, it's kind of hilarious. No one is going to want to adopt a platform that continues to struggle to deliver content, and even when it does, with the quality of its content. Again, have you seen The Mandalorian, or are you just bitching for no reason? How long Disney plans to keep pumping billions per quarter into this operation is a mystery, but investors are unlikely to tolerate net losses and growth for long. Again, if you listened to the investor meeting before Disney Plus released, which, if you're a journalist and you're writing a story about something, you might want to do a little bit of research. They said we're not going to be profitable on Disney Plus for 2 years. That's how investment works. They made this very clear to their shareholders. The Clone Wars series is also great. Yeah, I need to watch that. I've heard really good things about it. Plus, I've heard Ahsoka from that is going to be in The Mandalorian Season 2. So... And they're also doing, the Marvel series are coming out soon. You know, Marvel, the biggest media product of the last decade and a half. Marvel, I'm sure Disney's going to be struggling when WandaVision comes out and The Falcon and the Winter Soldier come out. Fuck off, man. Fuck off. 8kun bans Lolly. I'm guessing that's like a 4chan-like board. Good. I talked about this, I think, on Twitter a while ago. Lolly is basically just legal child porn. And I'm not saying it doesn't have the right to exist. At the end of the day, it's an artistic depiction, and people can draw whatever the fuck they want. I am saying, if you're into Lolly, you're probably into kids. Just putting that out there. Okay? Oh, they released the first seasons of, or they released episodes out of order for, Clone Wars? Okay. I'll check out the like, Wikipedia to make sure I watch them in order then. YouTube censors, bans content that goes against who? The World Health Organization. Yeah, because people are on YouTube, and I talked about some of them in my Tinfoil Tuesdays earlier in the week and in streams prior to that. There's a bunch of idiots on YouTube who are anti-vaxxers and alternate medicine people who think that the coronavirus is a hoax. YouTube should try and hide their videos or get rid of their videos because it's a public danger to get misinformation out there. Did you miss the list of traitors? Yeah, that was the first thing I did.
That's right, capitalistic propaganda.
Thank you, Hentai God 1998, for following. Xbox Series S could be revealed in May. Don't know what that is. He's gonna complain about Plandemic getting booted, isn't he? Probably. Oh my god, another one? I already did the umbrella one. At least make it different. God damn it. Is it gonna work? Oh, I missed one. Shit. There we go. By the way, if you go to this dude's website, he has a ridiculous number of ads overlaid on things. It's so annoying. Because I went to it on my mobile last night to look at some of his shitty articles for today's stream. I am a robot, that is true. Shadow Tamer says, I thought lolly just referred to a young female character. Lolly typically is used to describe hentai that depicts what appears to be a very underage girl. Like a minor. Sometimes what looks to be fucking children. It's real goddamn gross. Evo and other FGC organizers banned Ceroblast for saying N-word? No kidding. Yeah, don't say the N-word. It's not that hard, guys. Disney's future is grim as it takes out $7.3 billion in notes and $5 billion in credit. Disney is one of the biggest companies. It's the biggest media company in the history of planet Earth. I'm not saying it's going to exist forever, but it'll be sticking around for quite a while. Do you think people who like lolly should die? No. I just think it's gross. People can do what they want as long as they're not victimizing anyone. Lolly's gross, but it's not like victimizing a real child or anything. It's just fucking nasty. Would y'all be interested in having Matt Dillahunty as a guest for Charisma Saves? I mean, that'd be fun. You'd have to talk to Jake, though. He's the one who runs that, not me. I'm just a player. Disney's literally too big to fail, basically. And the merchandise profits, no kidding. They own Star Wars and Marvel. I guarantee like 90% of kids in this country own at least one Disney toy. That includes like princess stuff, that includes Star Wars, that includes Disney, that includes all the cartoon shows they own. Let's see his article about someone getting banned for saying the N-word. Joey Mr. Wizard, whatever his last name is, banned FGC. What's FGC? FGC. Something game conference, but I don't know what the F stands for. Competitor Ceroblast for saying, oh, not gonna, nope, N-word. Other organizations also banned him for up to a year. Ceroblast acknowledged the bans on April 19th with a simple tweet. I have officially been banned from all tournaments starting next year, and that's okay. Maybe learn a lesson then. Maybe learn not to say racial slurs. That'd be great. A lot of Twitter users, obviously left-wing, are in the... You don't have to be left-wing to not want people to use racial slurs, you dipshit. What are you talking about? Are in the thread cheering on the censorship, completely oblivious to the fact that fighting game community is now turned into a censorious cesspit for freaks. Yes, of course, anyone who doesn't want to openly brandish racial slurs is a freak. Maybe take a step back and reconsider your position before you say words. Do you just type out these articles and hit send to your, like, website, or do you even take a second to reread them and think about what you're saying? Earlier in the evening, in a Twitter thread where Ceroblast acknowledged using the N-word during online play, Joey Mr. Wizard, whatever, hopped into the thread to announce that he was no longer welcome at EVO tournaments for the foreseeable future. There's some tweets. I'm so sorry this was brought up to you if you were supporting me, blah, blah, blah. You're also not welcome at any EVO events for the foreseeable future. The worst part about it is that in the code of conduct page, they explicitly say they can ban or remove players for off-site conduct. Yeah, this is a thing in basically every sport. It's not surprising that esports would be the same. Again, you can disagree. I'm not a fan of capitalism either. But the fact is, they are a business, and it is their job to have a brand that is marketable. Marketable. Mouth isn't working today. And if you go out and you say awful things and you use racial slurs, that is not marketable. Okay? Pretty simple. Some users attempted to say that the organizers were applying the rules unfairly because some users are allowed to be treated more equal than others, being able to say certain slurs while others can't, such as low-tier god. However, low-tier god was also banned from tournaments too. Why? Because he called a spade outlined in a tweet by Blast. You really still going on about me? I don't care what you said about me. God, this was so hard to hear. I care about the fact that you said, if you don't have bottom surgery, you're not a woman. I'm logging off social media for a bit after this post. Goodbye, everyone. Yeah, that person should also probably be banned. That's not cool either. For everyone on the outside looking in, this probably looks incredibly pretty from all the organizers. The only people who have a problem with words are overly sensitive liberals, leftists, scumbags, degenerates, and social media addicts. Normal people don't care. You're not a normal person. You made a list of like every company in the country. Like a psycho. Also, if you're thinking that Blast is a victim in all of this, keep in mind that Blast has a Twitter profile with pronouns and claims to be non-binary, which doesn't exist. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Anyone who, like, you just said, where is it? Where is it? The only people who have a problem with words are overly sensitive liberals, leftists, scumbags, and degenerates. And then you bitch and whine about this person who has pronouns in their bio. You're literally having a problem with words in their bio. Do you see the issue, you idiot? You absolute moron. Yikers. Anyway, this is just more left eating the left. Yeah, I don't think if you're throwing out the N-word and talking about being a trans medicalist, then you're not on the left. The sooner their converged communities implode and they're cast out of the industry, the better it will be for every other normal hardcore gamer. The most oppressed people are the hardcore gamers. Am I right, folks? Out there to take back the industry and start enjoying gaming again the way it was meant to be enjoyed, with racial slurs. What an idiot. Rain Dean says, I'm so glad that I have you to watch because, wow, do my father and grandfather have Fox News up loud. I can hear it clearly from down the hall. Yuck. That's a shame. Drake Wing, help, the evil pronouns are attacking me. They're even in this sentence. Funny. Gray Fox 2343, degenerate. If you drink a shot every time he said that, you'd be dead, and your corpse would have to come with a flammable warning label. Yeah. Rockstar Games restructuring to remove bad eggs from staff. Of course I have to read the goddamn Elon Musk one. Crimson 11 says, I just saw this take and it made me want to die in Minecraft. Let me look. Oh my god. Fuck off. Jesus forgives Officer Derek Chauvin, and so should we. You can forgive him and still recognize that he is a murderer. I'm not saying you have to hate this man. I do, and I think it's completely reasonable to do so because he's a murderer. But if you would like to forgive him and say everyone makes mistakes, Not the case in this case. Most people don't murder people. But whatever. If you want to forgive him, that's your prerogative. Telling other people how to feel about a situation like this, though, incredibly fucked up and self-centered. Fuck this guy. Oh, goddamn database error. Well, I wonder why some of his articles just straight up don't work.
Love you.
Love you too.
I'm gonna go start the bonfire, I think.
Okay. I'll come out when I'm done.
Yep. Love you.
Love you too.
Kiki, come on.
Yeah, did you guys see Jason Schreier is I think he got hired by Bloomberg. Jason Schreier is a really good gaming journalist. His pieces are always great. His piece on Anthem was fucking amazing. Check it out if you haven't read it. It's a long read in terms of like an expose article, but it's great. I'm probably going to go for another 20 minutes or so, just so everyone knows. Then I'm going to go join Baja for a bonfire, and we're going to make some s'mores, I think.
That's right, capitalistic propaganda.
She has this vegan chocolate, and I'm not a vegan, but like this vegan chocolate is out of this fucking world. You wouldn't believe it. It's so good. It's like better than like regular chocolate. Cam Free, thank you for following. Twitter censoring tweets they feel increases risk of transmitting coronavirus. Yeah, it's their platform. They're allowed to do that. Or don't you believe in freedom of speech? Red flag rumor, PS5 price point linked at $559 Canadian. It wouldn't surprise me if the PlayStation 5 comes out for like $500 or $600. And I understand that the PlayStation 3, when it was announced for $500, was ridiculous. But for one thing, inflation is a thing. So it's been about 10 years since then. More at this point. So it's probably fine, and also people regularly shell out like $1,000 for smartphones. So I would imagine the PlayStation 5 is going to be around $500. I'm very excited for the PlayStation 5. Who tells World Health Organization tells people to play video games after classifying them as addictive? Okay? I can tell people that it's nice sometimes to drink like a glass of wine or have a beer on the weekend. Or to say, hey, you know what can be relaxing every once in a while? Smoking a little bit of weed. But it's fair to say, hey, also, these things can be addictive. Basically anything that's pleasurable can become an addiction. These are not mutually exclusive concepts. Reddit bans welcome to Weimar pornography addicts can't change your gender subreddits. Oh, yikers. Let's see what that is. Oh, good. The article works. Legal Eagle just did a really good video on freedom of speech in relation to online platforms. Everyone should watch it. Yeah, Legal Eagle's great. I love his channel. I really do. Link to vegan chocolate. I don't know the name of it. I'm unfamiliar with the actual name of it. Yeah, Legal Eagle's great though. Yeah, we'll do that one too, because I like Animal Crossing, and I want to hear the saltiness from red pill idiots. Give us the vegan chocolate. Baja Blast is outside starting a fire, so I don't know if she's listening right now. If you are, Baja, would you either text me or in the chat tell people what the name of the vegan chocolate is, because they're very curious. Reddit's administrators continue to purge anything even remotely resembling dissonance against their almighty left-wing propaganda trip towards the general elections this fall. The Donald still exists. There's a subreddit called It's a Fetish, which is entirely about TERFs and other transphobes, like, claiming that trans people are just fetishists, which is real fucked up. So... no, there's plenty of right-wing bullshit subreddits on Reddit still. Big Tech made it known that they weren't going to get a repeat of the 2016 elections, even if it meant engaging in illegal activities such as election interference. It's not election interference to decide what's on your website. They're a private organization. They can decide what content is and is not allowed. That's not election interference. What the fuck is wrong with you? We're seeing that play out in real time as communities on places like Reddit are being hide. Places like Reddit are being hide with widespread bans. You mean hit. Read your articles before you publish them. Why is that so hard? Thank you, Jubinator, for hosting me. I'm having some stuttering issues today. Widespread bans when they rally in objection to leftist agenda. 2 more subs have been added to the ever-expanding list of wrong-think offenders, this time Welcome to Weimar and pornography addicts being the victims. Kotaku in Action 2 spotted the sub going down. If you attempt to visit Welcome to Weimar subreddit, you'll be met with a message claiming the sub is in violation of rules. I imagine they were. What was Welcome to Weimar? It looks like it's a Weimar Republic flag, so I'm guessing it was like one of those subs that's pretending to not be Nazis when they're really Nazis, and they use code words like the Honkler or Clown World, any of those subreddits that were like LARPing as not Nazis when clearly they're Nazis and they're talking about Nazi stuff in code words, which was a problem on Reddit and still is some places. The sub was basically outlining how current-day society is moving in the exact same trajectory as the Weimar Republic a century ago. Oh boy, and what was their solution? Is it becoming Nazis? Because that seems like the direction that sub is going in. It was a time when the decadence and degeneracy eventually led to the general public into becoming disgusted enough that they sided with the National Socialists. Even when he's talking about Nazis, he can't say Nazi because he's a Nazi. He has to say National Socialists because it has the word socialist in it, and he thinks it's scary. Putting them into power during the 1930s, there's a brief recollection. Okay, let's be clear. The National Socialists that we know today as Nazis did not democratically rise to power. A lot of it was violent power grabs, including Hitler. Hitler was not elected. Once the chancellor of the party died or whatever, he anointed himself the Führer. So, there's a brief recollection covered by the history collection that outlines what made it that era so infamous during that turning point in German history. So what rules exactly did the sub violate? Well, they claim it was due to being reconstituted as a sub that was previously banned. Yep. What exactly does that mean? Well, according to the post on Reclassified, the sub's moderator was a lefty LARPing as a righty, even though the actual members of the sub were right-leaning. Basically, it was a controlled opposition. X to doubt. It's just satire. However, the sentiment of the sub was too far right for the likes of the administrators. Yeah, Nazism tends to be. And so the sub was nuked. The same thing happened with Pornography Addicts. So what was Pornography Addicts? It was a sub that was basically a spin-off of the no-fap movement. The sub condemned pornography, especially subversive porn. So let me guess. They looked at porn that involved like a white woman and a black guy, and they were like, this is degenerate, basically saying that porn is promoting what's the word I'm thinking of? I don't know. Nazis don't like when porn involves multiple races because they think it shows degenerate behavior. I'm guessing that's what the sub devolved into at some point, and that's why it was banned. Another sub that was recently nuked was Can't Change Your Gender. Yeah, gee, wonder why that one got banned. If you attempt to visit the sub, it gives you the same message as the other ones. It didn't readily pop up on the banned subreddit list, but the only reason anyone knew it was banned was because the moderators made a thread about it on our Reclassified. It doesn't take much to guess as to why Reddit banned that sub, though. Yeah, yep, because it was transphobic. Because it was super fucking transphobic. It's pretty simple. Don't be a piece of shit and treat trans people like trash. Miscegenation, that's the word I was thinking of. Nazis like to talk about miscegenation. Miscegenation, yeah. Just about every and any community on Reddit, public or private, is in the crosshairs of the administrators if it shows any signs of dissident behaviors or opinions. Ones that are Nazi-ish, yeah. They're literally purging wrongthink from their own platform, which they're allowed to do. Literally, they could say, only people with blonde hair are allowed to be on Reddit. And they can enforce that however they want. They're a private company. It would be stupid, but they could do it. It's a private company. They're allowed to do whatever the fuck they want in terms of deciding who is allowed on their website. Or what content. Do you not like communists? You're on their watch list. Again, the Donald is still on Reddit, man. Do you not like subversive porn? Again, this is a dog whistle for interracial porn. You're on their watch list. I don't totally get interracial porn either. Like, don't get me wrong, porn's fine. But I don't understand specific porn interests that involve like, oh, it's a black guy and a white girl, or the reverse, or whatever. It's just it's not a fetish I've ever, like, understood. But, hey, whatever. I ain't here to kink shame. Do you have strong conservative opinions? You're on their watch list. Conservative is still a subreddit, and it's a garbage dump, believe me. Are you against Antifa? You're on their watch list. Don't support the LGBTQIA plus agenda. Not fond of welfare surrogacy. Against affirmative action. Not supportive of the Democratic National Committee. Not voting for Biden. Not a fan of abortions. Okay, all of these things you can be on Reddit. They just don't want Nazis on their platform. Not agreeing with the mainstream media. Not a leftist. Not a liberal. Not a progressive. You're on their watch list. If you're so far right, why don't you pull yourself up by your bootstraps and go make your own website? VOAD exists, I think, which is a place that a bunch of Nazis went after getting banned off of Reddit. Any comment you make, gesture you put forward, or link or post or meme that in any way looks like it steps even remotely outside the astronomically thin rules they have in place. Not being a Nazi is not too difficult of a bar to set, just for the record. People think I'm joking, but we've been cataloging Reddit subreddit bans for some time, and they've been purging nearly every sub that stands in opposition to topics I mentioned above, whether it's the Europe, which again was an ethno-nationalist subreddit. The Honkler was literally a neo-Nazi subreddit. Literally. What they were using that meme of like, oh, we're in a clown world, it's controlled by clowns, and they were dog whistling Jewish people. It's real fucked up. It's so fucked. So fucked. The Honkler needed to go. For posting anti-leftist memes or SJW cringe for mocking SJWs. Gee, isn't it weird how mocking SJWs tends to devolve into Nazism so often? Strange. Or banning users for upvoting problematic content, or banning news sources that don't align with their agenda. Gee, what was the news source? Reddit bans Russia Today. Russia Today is literally Russia's propaganda. Jesus. Aw, the Animal Crossing one doesn't want to work. That makes me sad. Oh, it works this time. Interesting. Maybe it just timed out. Animal Crossing New Horizons dev admits gender depiction was due to agenda pushers. Society is in a steep decline. Source! Liberal progressives. It's, somewhat of an oxymoron. But whatever. Own all mainstream and enthusiast media. They continually pepper the public with the idea that fictional states, such as being non-binary, exist. Why all the non-binary hate? I don't understand. I really don't. And force-fed the effects of cultivation theory. Hey, if you're non-binary, you're valid, by the way. Sorry about all the bullshit I'm having to read. I know it's shitty, but I'm just trying to illustrate what an idiot this guy is. Force-fed the effects of cultivation theory down everyone's throats about gender being a social construct. Gender is a social construct. It's literally, like, the definition of the word. Gender is the social expectations that are attached to your biological sex. It's a different thing than sex. That's why they're two different words. Pansexuality being an orientation. What? Literally, pansexuality is an orientation. It's just like being attracted to, like, a huge variety of things. Whatever. All of this nonsense played a role in affecting the development of Animal Crossing New Horizons, as admitted by the game director Kayo Goku. Sorry if I mispronounced that. Go Nintendo picked up the news from an editorial by the Washington Post, where Kayo Goku explained to them why they made the changes they did in the character creation of Animal Crossing New Horizons. The article explained... Oh, my throat hurts for reading for like 3.5 hours. New Horizons' flexible nature extends to character customization too. Clothing items and hairstyles aren't restricted by gender, giving players more options on how to represent themselves in the game. This level of fine-tuning your character is not just about gender, Kayo Goku said, but relates to the team's overall feeling that society is shifting to valuing a lot of people's different identities. We've basically wanted to create a game where users didn't really have to think about gender, or if they wanted to think about gender, they're also able to, she said. So yes, she basically said, hey, society is being more open towards people of all different orientations and sexual identities, gender identities, whatever it happens to be. You can do that in our game. This person is, however, construing it as society is making these people... No, they didn't have to do this. They chose to do this. Often, unfortunately, well, fortunately and unfortunately, within a capitalist system, sometimes social pressures force companies to make progressive decisions because they want a wide audience. Now, this isn't always the case. Often capitalism can hinder social development if it poses a threat to their profit margins. However, in cases like this, typically they say, oh, society's doing this one thing? Well, we like society. They buy our stuff. We should probably change with society. That's just part of the system. We saw how this applied to the game's character creation process, where English localization completely removed the game's gender designations. Yeah, they just say, please choose your style, and you can do what would be considered more traditionally masculine-looking person and a more traditionally feminine-looking person, and then you go from there. I liked that about Animal Crossing. It was nice. However, this was only for the English version of the game. Every other language either referred to gender identities for Islander, or they outright called them boy or girl or male or female. Okay. America's more progressive than a lot of places in regard to gender identity. That's a good thing. It was only in the English version where the identifiers completely removed to coincide with the push from the liberal progressives to influence people into thinking gender is a social construct. Gender is a social construct. It's not an opinion. It literally is. That's what the word gender means. We've been inundated with this messaging for years now from every single facet of media, with the exception of a few remaining conservative outlets who are only barely holding out. Let's hope they stop barely holding out. That'd be great. While some might say that the effects of cultivation theory is negligible, the evidence appearing more and more in games, especially those for kids, proves otherwise. There's a constant bombardment from every facet of lefty-controlled media to try and influence people into being accepting of their agenda. Well, it's not working on you, is it, douchebag? Aren't most other languages pretty gendered too? Not all of them, but yeah, a lot of languages are. I'm not familiar with what Japanese's deal is in terms of that, but... Yeah, Cyberpunk 2077 is doing something similar with V. Yeah. Transfin. Oh gods, I'm not ready to pretend to like my dad for Father's Day. Yeah, well, you could always do what I do. Cut your dad out of your life, like I did. My dad's a monster. Fun fact. YouTuber Grant Abbott did a video back in April 18th, 2014 about the cultivation theory and how it can affect audiences over time with enough influence in delivering the right kind of message. Basically, if you have a show and you have gay representation, people become more comfortable with the concept of people being gay, which is a good thing. Yep. I simply refer to this as the 3 I's process: infiltrate, inoculate, indoctrinate. Leftists have infiltrated media, entertainment, and even politics. Oh no, leftists in politics. Being a leftist is a political stance, so of course they're in politics. They inoculate people with a constant messaging that gender is a social construct. It literally is. It's literally what it is. I don't know what else to tell you. That gender roles are patriarchal concept, to an extent, yeah. They're certainly a social concept, that men can be women and women can be men at a whim, that there are no differences between the genders. I don't think most people who are trans say that. There's a reason that I say I'm transgender, because I feel that I identify with the female gender more so than the male gender. And that's how I wish to express myself and be seen by other individuals. If I didn't think there was any difference between male and female, I would probably just be like non-binary or something. I don't know. That men can have periods. They can. Trans men can have periods. That women are just as strong as men. Depends on the man and women you're talking about. A woman who bodybuilds is going to be stronger than a dude who sits on the couch and plays video games all day. Like Ronda Rousey could beat up this dude, probably, who's writing this article. They use this to eventually indoctrinate people to believe that their ideological principles are truisms. Ugh. Let's read, like, one more short one. How bad's my hat head? Let me look at my camera. Oof. Yikerinos. That's pretty bad. Either way, let's read one more and then we'll be done for today. Oh boy, let's read an article about Brie Larson. Oh damn it. Of course it doesn't work. Fuck.
There's nothing
I just
funny
want to
about
read the
tools
Brie
of
Larson
capitalism.
article. I want to see you get all butthurt about Brie Larson. Oh, it works now? It's like every other time it works. It's very strange. Sorry, I'm just looking at my Twitter. Nintendo of America partners with Brie Larson for Animal Crossing New Horizons. Brie Larson, the scariest woman in America
That's right,
for all
capitalistic
chuds
propaganda.
for some reason. I don't understand why. They're still mad about Captain Marvel. Thank you, Phoenix 413, for gifting a sub. Thank you, MILFSAT Taco Bell, for following. Unbelievable. Oh, great. Just starting out with that, huh? Unbelievable. Nintendo of America has been stepping across the line onto the wrong side of history. Yep. Nazis, the people who thought Japanese internment was good, fans of Brie Larson, all on the wrong side of history. Yikers. Especially when it comes to localization and advertising partnerships, the latter of which can be best exemplified with their distasteful ad campaign involving the much-derided celebrity Brie Larson. Brie Larson is not derided outside of these weird, shuddy, alt-right circles. No one cares. Like, I like Captain Marvel. I think it's a fun movie, and I like her as Captain Marvel, even though it's just kind of a typical Marvel, like, origin film. I think the sequel will probably be better. But I like Brie Larson. She's fine. Her movie Unicorn Store wasn't that great that she directed. But I think she's a fine actress. She was also in that movie Room. That's really excellent, I think. I don't get they don't like Brie Larson because literally in an interview, she basically just said, hey, wouldn't it be great if there were more women and people of color who were movie reviewers? And she even explicitly said, I don't hate white straight men. She said it multiple times. And then all the chuds went, Brie Larson doesn't like straight white men. Like, completely not listening to a word she said. It's the most frustrating shit ever. Especially when it comes to localization and advertising partnerships, blah, 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 with their ad campaign, Brie Larson. The Captain Marvel actress has been promoting Animal Crossing New Horizons on her Instagram account as covered by Go Nintendo. Oh, I like that Switch, though. That's pretty cool. The, like, little things on the back. And she's got a Nook ink shirt. Alright. So how do we know it's an ad? Well, I mean, legally, I think you have to say something is an ad. It says hashtag ad. That's how you know it's an ad. It's pretty simple. So how do we know it's an ad? Because by enforcement, by the FTC says you have to make it an ad. Yep. In this case, we see that Brie Larson added the ad tag. Yep. This means Nintendo of America's marketing department paid to have Captain Marvel actress spread the word across social media. Hashtag ad. Who's excited to start their island getaway with Tom Nook, Animal Crossing at Nintendo? Fuck yeah. Honestly, if I were a celebrity and Nintendo was like, hey, we'll send you a free special edition Nintendo Switch and a free copy of the game, I imagine they also paid her money. But even without that, I'd be like, fuck yeah, I'll promote your game, Nintendo. I'm an absolute sellout. Who cares? Celebrity endorsements are not new just because you don't like the celebrity. Larson told People magazine that she had been gaming with Nintendo products since the GameCube days, so she's only been with Nintendo for 4 generations. That's not even that hardcore. Larson's... Can you imagine the gatekeeping involved and being like, she's only played 4 generations of this console. Real hardcore gamers played the fucking Pong at their local skating rink, god damn it. None of these fake gamer girls. Yeah. Yep. The first system I had was also a GameCube. Like, how old are you? Jake, I think, had an N64, and my older cousins had a Super Nintendo, but that's about as early as I know, personally, people who have played video games, except my mom. My mom had that, Odyssey system. I forget who made it, back in the 70s, where it was literally just like single pixels on a screen, like really big block things, and you put a layover on it. Anywhere. Yeah, oh no, she's only played the video for almost 20 years. How dare she? I've been playing the game New Horizons, I think, since Monday by myself, and I've had nobody to be able to talk about it. It's been really sweet to have this special time with it to figure it out on my own. The original game, the first time I played it, was on Nintendo GameCube, and it was just so important to me and my sister. My mom set a rule: whoever finished their homework got to play first. It was an amazing tool to get us finishing homework. Okay, so she didn't even specifically say she'd only been playing since GameCube. She just said they played Animal Crossing on GameCube, which was the only system you could play Animal Crossing on in the United States. I'm pretty sure in Japan it was an N64 title, and then they did an upgraded version for the US. I think it was called, like, Animal something else in Japan. I forget the exact title. But they changed the title Animal Crossing and released it on GameCube in the US. I'm so excited to make new memories with my sister. Again, we're adults now, and yet we still have such a deep love for this game. I have a similar story, basically. I played Animal Crossing on GameCube. I loved it. I played it a ton, so did my mom. At some point, I'd really like to get my mom a Switch and get her that game, because I think she'd get a kick out of playing it again. She was also a huge fan of, like, the original Legend of Zelda for the NES. So I kind of wanted her to get her, what's the name of the newest game? Legend of Zelda. Oh, shoot. Why can I not remember the title? I love the new Legend of Zelda, but I forgot the title. Animal Forest was the name of Animal Crossing, and Breath of the Wild. Yes, I think she'd get a kick out of playing Breath of the Wild if I got it for her. So, given the circumstances, we can connect via the internet and go to each other's islands while we're FaceTiming and communicate about this. It's just sweet. Yeah, basically. Still an ad, but still using a fun game together and communicating. That's cool. Go Nintendo also pointed out in the interview, Larson said that she would definitely be willing to star in a movie about Animal Crossing if given the opportunity. For those of you who don't remember, Larson promotes and represents current-day feminism. Oh, does she have the official representative of feminism job? I didn't know that was a title you could have. Which is all about misandry. Yeah, third-wave feminism, all about misandry. It's not. It really isn't. She also advocated for fewer white male critics to review Captain Marvel. Specifically, she said she wished there were more people of color, women, and LGBT people in the critic community, and it wasn't entirely dominated by straight white men. She didn't say, hey, fuck you, straight white men. She wants a more diverse group of people reviewing movies, so that reviews aren't entirely from the perspective of the same kind of person, which is not an unreasonable thing to say whatsoever. Which would have been deemed sexist and racist had her request been inverted. Well, here's the thing, though. If it were inverted, and she said there should be more white male reviewers, it would make no sense and would be racist. Because most reviewers are already straight white men. Do you understand how context works? And how the words we say and the world in which we say them matters? Okay, just checking. She also attempted to ride the media wave, claiming that it was sexist when turd-flinging monkey gave her smiling makeover in the promotional images for Captain Marvel. That is sexist. There's literally a dude in the movie who's like, why don't you smile, darling? Yeah. Telling women unsolicited to smile more is a really fucked up, weird, chuddy thing to do. Do not do it. I'm sure, oh god, I'm sure cuckolds and simps will attempt to claim, well, they wanted a popular celebrity and there's no one else. What? That's no. She's just a popular celebrity. There were probably other people. She's just popular and people like her. You're so caught up in your little chud fantasy world that you don't realize that your average person walking down the street, if they, like, see a picture of Brie Larson, don't think, free! feminism, feminazi. No, they just go, oh yeah, she's in the Marvel movie, right? And she was also in that other, I like her. That's how most people think. Like, I have to be neck deep in this bullshit because it's my job. But if I wasn't engaging with this for entertainment value, I wouldn't give a shit. Who the fuck gives a shit? She's a good actress. She's cute. She's gonna be in ads. Bullcrap. They could have paid any number of A-listers out there to hold a switch and convince people to go out and buy Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm sure they did. I'd imagine she wasn't the only celebrity they paid to do ads on stuff. Yeah, she's kind of a geek anyway, at least. Yeah, that's how she presents herself sometimes, so. They could have acquired the services of Zelda Williams if they wanted, someone who regularly plays Nintendo games. Sure. Zelda Williams isn't really known like Brie Larson, though. Zelda Williams, for those of you who don't know, is Robin Williams' daughter. Robin Williams was a big fan of Legend of Zelda, and they were, in fact, in a Legend of Zelda ad together when he was still alive. So they've used Zelda Williams, but more people know who Brie Larson is. So they paid for her to be in the ad, as opposed to paying someone who supports misandry to represent the company. Oh, no. That's not to mention that Nintendo's localization team in charge of the English version of Animal Crossing New Horizons removed the male and female gender identifiers from the game during the character creation process, which harms literally no one. It just doesn't matter. Further proving that Nintendo's treehouse is converged. I don't even know what converged means in the weird, shuddy Nazi speak. But, you know, whatever. Okay, so, that's gonna be it for today's stream. We've been going for almost 4 hours now. Yeah, I spent a whole day talking about this douchebag, and a little bit about Garfield Eats. Interesting. I'm gonna add this dude to my list of lol cows, though, because this guy's hilarious. And I want to see, like, as the years go on, the next year, 2 years, 3 years, whatever, especially if Donald Trump gets voted out in November. I don't know if he will or not. We'll see what happens. I hope he is. I want to see his descent into madness as the resurgence in Nazism hopefully starts going down. I'd like to think he's gonna go fucking crazy. But, you know, whatever. So thanks, everyone. Thanks, everyone in chat, and just viewers who aren't in chat, for being here with me today. If you want, you can always follow to catch my streams in the future. Tomorrow's Sunday. I usually take Sundays off, so I guess we'll just see how I'm feeling tomorrow. I think I'll probably take the day off, but if not, maybe I'll be around for a little bit. You can always subscribe to the channel if you want to use the 5 emotes I have. I already submitted my application to be a partner, so hopefully I'll get more emote slots soon and I can add some more stuff. What else? You can donate to the stream if you want to support it at my Streamlabs link below the video. Share this or any of the other VODs I have if you want to help, you know, get me more followers and stuff. That's always great. I love having people here. Today's stream had the most concurrent viewers I think I've ever had. I almost had 200 viewers, so that's cool. Other than that, that's it. I'm going to go hang out with Baja Blast. Stay safe, everyone. I hope you have a wonderful evening and weekend. See you guys.